Good morning, everybody. Let's start our program. May we call on Corporal Joan Melad for the opening prayer.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Before we start the program, I request everyone to turn your cell phones on silent mode to avoid any interruption. Thank you. Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. Acknowledging the presence of Police Colonel Jezebel D. Medina, Acting Director, Health Service, ma'am. Police Colonel Mark Manfred Anthony Solero, Deputy Director, Health Service, sir. Police Colonel Maria NENITA S. DELEON, Chief of Staff, Health Service, ma'am. To our very special guests, they are medical doctors who will act as resource and keynote speakers who will later educate and enlighten us about health specifics. Good morning po mga doc. Senior officers, PCOs, PNCOs, and NUPs present, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Healthy Lifestyle Lecture for Male PNP Personnel. Please all rise for the invocation to be led by Police Corporal Joan L. Melad.
Let's bow down our heads and feel the presence of the Lord. Let us pray. Dear God, thank you for all the blessings you have bestowed upon us. We are truly grateful for them. Thank you for allowing us today to meet and share our knowledge and time with one another in this lecture. May you extend your divine wisdom to our speakers so that they would be able to impart effectively His God-given knowledge to all of us. May He be blessed as He continues to bring His expertise to people who need them. Bless the participants as well so that they would be able to glean the vital information from this activity. May bestow your blessing after this lecture so that we may go out and spread what we learn in the spirit of your love and generosity. May we realize that this activity should glorify your name. Amen.
Amen and amen. To deliver your welcome remarks and acknowledgement of participants, please welcome the Chief of Staff Health Service, Police Colonel Maria NENITA S. DELEON. Ma'am?
Yes, and thank you. To, of course, our Acting Director, Police Colonel Jezebel D. Medina, ma'am. Our Deputy Director, Police Colonel Mark Manfred Anthony Solero, sir. And of course, our counterparts from the CPSM, Police Brigadier General Randolph Balonglong, sir. Other attendees, I understand we have at least, I think, reached the 1,000 mark of attendees for this morning's lecture. Of course, the National Advisory Group for Police Transformation and Development members, our Regional Advisory Group members, our partners from the MaxiCare, Doctors Nicole and Buenavista, Dr. Renz Christian Argao, Dr. John Paulo Dipasupil, Dr. Christopher Constantino, and Dr. Kenneth Hardiganco. Other members of the other attendees, virtual attendees of December, magandang umaga po. Oo. Actually, the PNP male population has been clamoring for a program solely for them. Sabi nga po nila, puro po yata pang babae ang programa ng PNP at ng health service. But today, we are very, very happy to announce that this seminar is for you for this Father's month, Father's Day and Father's month of June. This seminar is solely with you, our male population, our policemen, our uniform personnel, male uniform personnel. Yun po ang aming iniisip sa ngayon. Now, this is the sixth leg of the Virtual Leadership and Good Governance Lecture Series for calendar year 2022, Healthy Lifestyle for Male PNP Personnel. And we would like to thank MaxiCare in advance po because they have presented us with this, and when they asked us, nagpasalamat kami agad sa kanila, and we have said yes at once because this is what the PNP male population needs. Our resource speakers in advance also, maraming salamat. Ang kanilang mga lectures, ang kanilang mga topics are very well needed. We have Dr. Renz Argao for Making Anger Your Friend. As his topic, Dr. Paulo Dipasupil on men's health and lifestyle management. And of course, ito po ang sabi ko, uupuan ko talaga to kahit na po panlalaki ang lectures na to, is the lecture by Dr. Christopher Constantino, who happens to be a son po of a PNP officer din po. His topic is a common musculoskeletal disorders for personnel in uniform. Ito po talaga ay kailangan natin pakinggan. It's a very good morning, and we will start this morning with very good lectures to start our day. And with that, maraming salamat po, and welcome po again for the sixth leg of the Virtual Leadership and Good Governance Lecture Series for calendar year 2022. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, ma'am. To deliver the welcome remarks on Mexico's end, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Kenneth Hartigan. Sir? Again, ladies and gentlemen, to deliver the welcome remarks on Mexico's end, please welcome Dr. Kenneth Hartigan.
Thank you very much for unmuting me. Thank you. My name is Kenneth Hardigan Go. I'm a member, sitting member of the National Advisory Committee Group for Police Transformation Development. 2 months ago, we were discussing the need to counterbalance many of the women's forum on health, and we felt that the male population is heavily neglected. No? Under SDG 5, gender equality is espoused. That's why we're promoting this. And first and foremost, the message that we have is health is wealth. It's also a very complex, dynamic matter, no? Involving your capacity to work, involving your family, and involving finances. No? And when we talk to ordinary folks, they are very worried because they don't have complete picture and therefore are overwhelmed with terminologies and technology. Secondly, they don't know how to navigate or ask the right questions. And hence this forum is meant to convene new concepts on highlighting the male's health as an entry point for you. Now, there are many uses for this. No? You could also use the knowledge that you gain today in developing community engagement programs for the barangays that our tropa is involved with. No? The topics for today is a broad cover, including mental health, physical health, and metabolic conditions. And your role is to try to know, be able to analyze, know what interventions are necessary to keep your health, and lastly, be able to communicate this to other people. So on behalf of the MaxiCare Group, I'd like to thank the PNP CPSM the director and also the health service director for graciously hosting and sponsoring this activity. Of course, I'd like to thank our expert resource persons, the doctors from the MaxiCare Healthcare Corporation. A special shout out to Lieutenant Colonel Ansalaya and Jade Amber Nunez. So welcome to this seminar. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you very much, Dr. Go. At this juncture, to introduce our first speaker, please welcome Dr. Nicole and Buenavista. Yeah?
Hi, yes. Good morning to everybody. Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. I'm Dr. Aika, your host and moderator for today. So today will be filled with a lot of medical information as well as inspiration to take control and charge of our health. And with that, we have our first topic or lecture this morning. But before that, I want to keep it a bit interactive. We have a reactions button here on Zoom. Give me a smiley face if you're feeling great today on the chat box. Or if you're feeling a bit okay, give me a heart emoticon reaction. Or if you're feeling a bit sad today, give me a sad reaction. Okay, so I can see the reactions. Thank you so much. And just in case you're feeling a bit gloomy, a bit sad, or feeling a bit angry, don't you worry. We have our first topic today, which is making anger your friends. So to introduce our speaker this morning, we have Dr. Renz Argao. Okay. He's a registered psychologist and a registered psychometrician. He's currently the president and CEO of Argao Health Incorporated. He is an international certified expert on psychotrauma and is a diplomate of the American Academy of Experts in Traumatic Stress. In addition to his clinical practice, Dr. Renz is engaged in faith-based diplomacy and development work through Religions for Peace, where he is the coordinator of the International Youth Committee and member of the World Council. He is also the co-founder and partner for the learning and development of Smarter One Philippines. So before we start, in case you do have questions, just type it on the chat box. We will entertain them after the lecture. And let's all listen to Dr. Renz Argao. Take it away, Dr. Renz.
Thank you, Doc Aika. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me. I see a lot of energetic faces sa Zoom natin ngayon. No? Allow me to share my screen lang kasi I have this tendency na dumaldal ng walang PowerPoints. I hope you can see my screen now. And so this morning, I'll be speaking about how we can make anger your friend. And a while ago, during the opening remarks, I heard that the focus of our health and wellness webinars this morning is really to address the needs also of the male population of our uniformed personnel. And I got this interesting thought on why anger is always associated as an important topic for men, and especially on managing or controlling our anger. Usually, there is always this belief that men are the one who have worst anger, because of the way that we express our anger. Now, this is why this topic is important po, kasi we need to know why men are usually seen as more violent, more harsh, aggressive when it comes to anger as compared to women. Okay, and a fact is that because of our culture, in terms of emotions, kasi men are usually not expressive in terms of their emotions as compared to women. Culturally kasi sa atin, di ba, ang mga babae, mas okay lang mag-express ng emotions as compared to the men. Which often leads to our anger being built up or pent up. That's why yung expression usually mas negative, mas aggressive. And in reality, all of us actually experience anger. And anger is a very normal human emotion. But for us to be able to talk about how we can manage our anger, the first important thing is for us muna to understand what triggers our anger. Okay, so I see that we have over 1,000 participants dito sa Zoom, and we're being live streamed now. So para hindi ma-overwhelm yung chat natin for the responses, may I ask everyone muna to get your phones or open a browser in your laptop or in your computer. Visit menti.com, and po yung website, menti.com. Again, you can use your phone po, type menti.com, and then you will type a code there, 88552117. Again, that's menti.com. Use the code 88552117. And pwede niyo po yung gamitin sa phone. You can open that also to your browsers. So may mabilis na question lang tayo dyan regarding what triggers your anger. Ano nga ba yung usual na dahilan bakit kayo nagagalit, So, tingnan lang natin kung ano yung mga experiences natin. Don't worry, anonymous po ito, hindi lalabas yung pangalan ninyo. So, kung nahihiya kayong ipakita or sabihin or malaman ng iba ano yung anger triggers natin, walang makakaalam kung ano yung sagot nyo. Ayan, so let me share the screen lang. Again, that's menti.com po. Our code is 88552117. Ayan, so we're seeing a few answers already on our mentee. So I won't be reading all of them, no, kasi marami tayo ngayon, but I'll go through some of them since nakikita naman natin yung mga answers ninyo, no. So ayan, ang pinaka nakita ko dito yan, so far budget related, na short on budget or money. Syempre nakakagalit talaga, na lalo na pag malapit na yung yung petsa de peligro, sabi nga nila, when the salaries are not yet coming in, no, or because of the many expenses and stress, frustration, lies and betrayals. Ayan, may nakita ko na stupidity, no, when we're jealous, mga toxic people and annoying action. Ito, scene zone daw sa messenger. Ayan, not following instructions, waiting too long, love life, no, impatience, bully, makulit, and halos marami, no, similar answers on stress and stupidity, lumalabas talaga in money, financial. I think talagang madali tayong magalit pag usapang pera, ayan, fake person, betrayal, stressed at work, ayan, lazy coworkers daw, and lazy people, no, nakakagalit talaga yan, di ba? Yan, marami finances talaga, stress, toxic people, ayan, annoying action, waiting too long, toxic po. Ito, may wife na nakalagay, nako. Unfinished jobs, ayan, insufficient funds, ayan, talagang marami yung money ang sagot. At kanina may wife, dito naman syempre para balance, my husband ang nakalagay sa trigger niya ng anger. Ayan, traffic, ayan, no? I think especially for those in urban areas, no, yung traffic talagang nakaka-stress. Ayan, sobrang ingay na kapaligiran. Ayan, see? Sige, again, I won't be reading them one by one, baka maubusan tayo ng oras, but as you can see, halos similar, no, yung mga triggers natin ng anger. Mayroon pa dyan lies, no, betrayal, no? Yung iba mukhang malalim ang pinaghuhugutan, no, pagdating sa part na yon. Okay, ayan, sige. Sige, just type in your answers, no? Mayroon pang oras naman dito. We have 210 na sumagot na. I'll go back to this later kung may oras tayo, but again, since for the interest of time, I won't be reading them one by one. So so far sa mga nakita ko, ang common is really finances, no, money. Yung mga partners natin, whether wife, husband, girlfriend, boyfriend, or dito lumabas in-laws, no, stress, yung katamaran ng ibang tao, ayan, lumalabas. So yung mga reasons natin bakit tayo nagagalit. And thank you for sharing your answers. Again, sagot lang po kayo on this. Balikan natin later kung meron tayong time. Tignan pa natin ano yung nagtitrigger ng anger natin. But we can see again, no, that a lot of this are a mix but very similar, and ito rin yung not following rules pa ulit-ulit din nating nakita kanina. Okay, so ayan, at least alam natin, aware tayo of what triggers our anger. No? So for this morning's quick lecture, I'll be covering what anger is, ano ba yung manifestations niyan, bakit mahalaga, no? Why is it important for us to manage our anger, and what are those ways for us to be able to manage yung anger natin, no? So that it can be turned into a friend, gaya ng title ng topic, no? Kasi usually niisip natin ayaw natin ng anger, di ba? Ayaw natin ng nagagalit. But this is very important because it can actually be used to something beneficial. Okay, so what is anger ba? Okay, why do we feel angry? Bakit tayo nagagalit? And why am I saying that it is a normal emotion and it's something that can be healthy? Okay, so anger actually is an extremely powerful emotion, no? And usually, pag galit tayo, this is characterized by antagonism towards someone, usually other people, like yung binanggit nyo kanina, no? Asawa, mga partners, no? Or katrabaho, or something. Okay, isang bagay, minsan yun, finances, money, no? That had deliberately done you wrong, no? So may nagawa silang mali sa atin that usually causes us to become angry. Usually, no, an inability to keep our anger in control can lead now to serious problems, like in our relationships, in our career, no, and even with our health. Kasi yung anger can trigger stress, it can increase yung blood pressure natin, which can actually affect our health. Diba, merong mga individuals na sa sobrang galit nila, minsan na-atake sa puso, no, dahil yun yung intensity ng emotions. Kaya kailangan nating iwasan na maging matindi or mawalan ng control yung anger natin. So what causes anger? Kanina marami na kayong mga sinagot, but these are also some of those causes, no, ng anger. Yan, losing patience, no, our boundaries are being violated, or sometimes we feel, no, na yung ating opinions or yung ating effort hindi na-appreciate. Okay, if there's injustice, whether sa company, in our agency, no, in our unit, some memories of trauma or past negative experiences, or worrying about personal problems like yung finances na binanggit kanina, no? So ilan lang yan kasama, dagdag natin dun sa mga shinare nyo kaninang causes, no? So other causes also on a much deeper level in terms of mental health concerns, yung depression kasi when someone is suffering from depression, that may lead to anger. Yung grief, no? Especially when you've experienced loss, whether because of the death of a loved one or other losses, no, like loss of a home, loss of a job, loss of a pet, kasama din sa grief yan. Yung tinatawag nating obsessive compulsive disorder or OCD, anxiety disorder, alcoholism, no? Yung sobrang pag-inom ng alak, or even bipolar disorder, ito usually they may trigger also yung experiences natin ng anger. So, as you can see here, iba-iba, no? Gaya ng shinare nyo rin kanina, iba-iba yung pinanggagalingan ng galit natin, okay? But whatever the reason for your anger is, okay, we have to remember, okay, that each of us have these unique triggers, okay? So, since each of us have unique triggers, we are also taught, no, to expect from ourselves, from other people or the world around us, yung mga kahalubilo natin, that they also have different anger triggers, okay? Your own personal history, your own personal experiences contribute also, no, to your reactions to anger. Like for example, marami sa atin kasi when we were younger, hindi tayo naturuan kung paano nga ba yung tamang pang-handle ng galit, no? That's why pagtanda natin, hindi natin alam how to express that, or minsan naiipon, di ba? Or minsan habang bata tayo, sabihan tayo, oh, wag ka magagalit, di ba? So sometimes hindi natin alam how to actually experience that. And apart from it having unique triggers, let's also remember that in some cases, anger is simply a mask for other emotions. No? Usually ako po, pag nagtuturo ng anger management, ang lagi kong sinasabi, yung anger na lumalabas, yung galit na lumalabas kasi sa atin, usually pinagtatakpan niya yung ibang nararamdaman natin, di ba? Halimbawa, tinanong ka, bakit ka nagalit nung sinabi sa yung mali yung ginawa mo? And sometimes that anger that we feel actually represents either a disappointment in ourselves, no, embarrassment, sadness, or other emotions. Yun nga lang lumalabas yung anger kasi yun yung mas madali nating ma-express, no? And then apart from that, I'd like also to reiterate yung binanggit ko kanina, that anger is a completely normal and healthy emotion, no? Kasi yun nga, minsan feeling natin, ay, huwag kang magagalit kasi negative yung galit, masama magalit, di ba? But it's normal, no? And it's a healthy emotion, okay? The fact is we cannot escape anger. Okay? And maybe you might be wondering, what I'm saying, no, na bakit healthy yung emotion? Kasi we all have this idea that it's wrong. Okay, but anger actually isn't always a bad thing, because being angry can actually help you share your concerns, no, yung issues or problems natin. It can also prevent others, no, from abusing us, no, from stepping on our own self, because it's something that can actually set those boundaries, no. The important thing is that we need to manage our anger so that it becomes a healthy emotion, kasi nga yun, we were raised with this idea that anger is wrong, it's inappropriate, it's unattractive, or it's a destructive emotion, kasi yun yung naturo sa atin, no. But in fact, if we control our anger, it can be healthy and it can also have positive impacts, no. Another is that anger can become a messenger or a motivator, no? Kasi yung anger may purpose yan sa atin, no? It's a messenger because it tells us if someone has violated our boundaries, di ba? It tells us also, or gives us the energy to act when something needs to change, 'di ba? Nagagalit ka kasi naapakan, 'di ba? Yung boundaries mo. So, it's a messenger. You know that someone did something wrong to you, so that it motivates you now to change the situation, 'di ba? Kaya kung nag-away kayo ng partner mo halimbawa, yung galit mo, that's the reminder that your partner has stepped over their boundaries, and this is motivating you now to change the situation. Okay. Now, anger also, since it's a normal and a healthy emotion, mayroong mga positive aspects yan sa atin, no? Pag nagagalit tayo, pansin nyo, nag-i-increase yung energy, gumagaling tayo, yung ability natin to communicate our feelings. Some people joke nga, whenever they're angry, mas gumagaling daw silang mag-English, di ba? Kapag nag-aaway tapos they're angry, ang straight English yung pagsabi nila, pagsagot nila ng ng away nila, no? But in reality, kidding aside, it really allows us kasi to really communicate what we feel kasi nawawala yung inhibitions natin usually when we're angry, no? It actually increases also our ability to solve problems and to take charge of the situation, okay? However, although again, merong positive aspects yan, when we do not control our anger, the negative aspects naman yung mas common. And usually, ito yung mas nakikita natin, no? Like disruption of thinking, no? Hindi tayo makapag-isip ng maayos, we make wrong judgments, no? We may become unnecessarily defensive, no? Yung may sinabi lang sa'yo, agad-agad defensive ka na, no? Sumasagot ka na kaagad. Or yan, being aggressive, or in worst cases, dahil lagi tayong nagagalit, suddenly people think of us as an angry person. Parang yun na lang yung tumatatak sa ibang tao na lagi tayong galit. Diba? So yun yung negative part nun, no? And when we talk about anger kasi yun, usually this has something to do with the way that we manifest or express yung anger natin. Okay, so how do we express or manifest anger ba? Ito yung iilan lang, no, on the way that we manifest anger. Hindi to complete list, but these are some of the common ways that we manifest our anger, no. So sa physical manifestations ng anger, halimbawa, yan, no, we clench our jaws or grind our teeth, no, yung sa jaw mo parang nanggigigil ka, di ba? Napapakagat ka ng matindi. Yan, or grinding yung teeth, no, yung nagmo-move, di ba? Yung ngipin natin, okay? Usually common yan na nakikita pag galit tayo, di ba? And headache, no? For some people, sumasakit yung ulo when they're very angry, okay? For others naman, stomachache, yung gastrointestinal symptoms, okay? Minsan effect kasi nung either nagiging acidic, yung nagiging hyperacidic tayo, no? Increase or rapid heart rate, yan, may bilis yung tibok ng puso, yung iba nagkakaroon ng palpitations, which also leads, no, to increase in blood pressure, okay? Sweating, no? Usually pag galit yung palms, yung palad natin, yung mas pinagpapawisan, feeling hot in the neck and face, okay? Kaya yung iba feeling naman parang namumula. You feel hot in your body, okay? Some people shake or tremble, nanginginig, or for other people because of the increase in heart rate and blood pressure, dizziness, o nahihilo naman yung nararamdaman. So those are physical manifestations ng anger. Again, hindi to complete list. No? There are still other manifestations that other people may experience. Okay? Emotional naman, ayan, a manifestation ng anger, sometimes we feel like we want to get away from the situation. Gusto mong umalis na lang kasi galit ka. Kaya minsan nag-walk out tayo, di ba? Pag galit tayo. Irritated, okay? Ayan, sad or depressed, anxious, resentful, no? Yung parang gustong gumante. You feel like you want to strike out verbally or physically, no? Yun yan. May gusto mong magsabi ng masasamang word, sabi nga nila, di ba? Or you want to hurt someone, no? And then yung guilt, no? For some people yan, may guilt feeling kapag nagagalit sila, no? Kasi they feel like it's wrong to be angry, so sometimes they feel guilty about their emotions, okay? Behavioral manifestations naman, ayan, sometimes it's rubbing your head, no? Yung nagkakamot na lang dahil sa galit, no? Okay, dahil nga galit, yung napapahawak na lang sa ulo, di ba? You cup your fist with your other hand, yung gumaganon tayo, di ba? Okay, hinahawakan mo yan kasi nga you're clenching your fist. So sometimes hinahawakan mo or sinusuntok-suntok mo kasi nga doon na ina-express yung galit. Pacing, no? Yung moving around, walking around the space. Sometimes you become sarcastic. You lose your sense of humor and hindi ka na pwedeng biruin kasi yun nga, galit ka na eh, di ba? So sometimes you lose your sense of humor. You may act in an abusive or abrasive manner. Ayan, no? So nga, sometimes when we become angry, yung pagiging aggressive natin, unfortunately, we may hurt others or even abuse others, no? Physically or verbally, di ba? For some people, pag galit, they crave a drink, no? Gustong uminom ng alak, a smoke, or even other substances that help them feel relaxed, no? And unfortunately, no, some people who are angry, they even resort to illegal drugs as a way of coping, no? Kaya minsan lalong lumalala yung impact sa kanila, no? Raising the voice is also a behavioral manifestation ng anger. Di ba? Sa paggal tayo, usually mataas yung boses natin. Yan. That's why we begin to yell, to scream, or for some people, umiiyak na because of anger. No? So yan yung iba't ibang ways, no, kung paano natin na ma-manifest, na-express yung galit natin, or probably how you observe other people manifest their anger. Okay, now, ngayong alam na natin kung ano yung anger, ano yung purpose niya and manifestations, let's talk about anger management naman. No? Ano nga ba ito and why is this important? When we talk about anger management, ito yung process natin of how we learn on how we can become aware, paano natin nalalaman, paano tayo nagiging mindful, no? With regards to the signs, yung triggers, yung manifestations that we are becoming angry. And then how we take actions now in order to deal with these situations that we are facing. Again, kaya nang sabi ko po kanina, the best way and the first way for us to be able to treat our anger or manage our anger is to understand muna yung pinanggagalingan, yung trigger ng anger natin at kung paano ba natin nararanasan yon or how we express that. So that when we become aware, no, when we recognize the signs, we can now take action in order for us to calm down and express our anger in a productive way or deal with it in a healthy way. No? Again, anger is a normal and healthy emotion, but that only happens if we express it appropriately. Okay? And in anger management, ito yung natututunan nating gawin. Okay? Kasi we have to remember that the true goal of anger management is not to suppress feelings of anger. Yung iba kasi akala, pag pinag-uusapan ng anger management, it's simply about not showing your anger, no? Mali po 'yon, no? Kasi pag ang goal mo lang is hindi ka magalit, hindi healthy 'yon kasi kailangan nating ilabas yung galit natin. Kailangan i-express 'yan. Sinasabi nga natin, all feelings are valid. All emotions are valid, even anger, okay? But the way that we express our emotions may not necessarily always be valid. Kasi normal lang magalit, healthy ang galit. Pero ang hindi healthy, kapag yung galit mo, ginagamit mo para makasakit ng ibang tao. Okay? That's why, again, it's important for us to know how to express our anger. So it's important to learn anger management so that we understand the message behind the emotion, behind our anger, and then express it in a healthy way without losing our control. So ano ba yung makukuha natin when we manage our anger? Okay? So these are some of the benefits of anger management. No? So of course, you can communicate your needs better. Okay, because when we manage our anger, we learn to recognize and talk about the things that frustrate us rather than letting them become pent up, no, mabottle yung anger natin. Knowing how to express ourselves kasi can help us avoid yung impulsive or hurtful words or actions. It can help us resolve conflicts and also maintain positive relationships. Okay? Pangalawa, managing anger can also maintain better health. Okay? The stress kasi caused by an ongoing angry feeling can increase yung risk natin of health problems like yung heart problems, no, high blood pressure, digestive issues, problems sleeping, and even headaches and migraine. Okay? It can also prevent yung tinatawag nating mga psychological and social problems, okay, that are linked or connected to anger. Kasama dyan yung depression, problems sa trabaho, legal difficulties, or even troubled relationships. Okay? At the same time, managing our anger can help us, no, use yung frustration, yung galit natin to get things done. Okay? When anger is expressed inappropriately kasi, it makes us think makes it difficult for us to think clearly, and yun, usually we have poor judgment. Okay, so when we learn to use feelings of frustrations and anger as motivators to work harder and take positive action, yun, we actually get things done. Okay, and lastly, managing our anger can help us avoid yung mga addictive escapes na tinatawag. Okay? Kasi yun nga, no? Some people who are angry may turn to alcohol or worse, may turn to drugs in order to manage their anger. Okay? Or in other cases naman, they use food, no, to escape anger. Di ba? Minsan pag galit, kain ka ng kain kasi nga galit ka, no? O kaya yung iba excessive workout, no? Yung pagpupunta ng gym tapos galit na galit. So dinadaan yung galit doon. So this can become a problem also in the long run, na lalo na yung mga addictive behaviors. Okay? So it's important to manage anger to avoid this also. Now, how do we know? How do you know kung kailangan mo ba ng anger management? Okay? So ito, ano tayo, self-check tayo, no? If you say yes in any of the next statements, it might mean that you need anger management already. Okay? So do I need anger management? Yes, if no, you experience the following. Okay? So one, you need anger management if you regularly feel that you have to hold in your anger. No? Ibig sabihin, feeling mo dapat laging kailangan kong kontrolin tong galit ko kasi alam kong masama ako magalit. Ayan. That might mean that you need anger management. No? If you have persistent negative thinking and focusing on negative experiences. No? Ibig sabihin, if you tend to always focus on the negative thoughts, your negative life events, no? And you hold on to those, no? You stay on those feelings. Okay, there's constant feelings of irritation, impatience, and hostility. No, when people tell you already, "Uy, parang laging ang sungit mo," okay, lagi kang irritable, lagi kang walang pasensya. Ayan, that might mean you need anger management, or you have frequent arguments with others that escalate from frustration. So, lagi na tayong napapaaway dahil sa galit or frustration natin. Okay, other reasons, no, for you to know if you need anger management. Yes, also if you are engaging in physical violence, like hitting your partner, your children, or other people then, no? Or you start fights because of your anger. Okay? Kasi syempre, no, alam naman natin, physical violence is a no-no, no? Maliban sa it's morally wrong, physical violence is also a crime, no? Alam natin yan, syempre in the uniformed personnel, that physical violence is something that is a crime. So pag tayo mismo nagagawa natin, ibig sabihin, lalo pag galit, we need to know na we need to manage already our anger, no? Or pwede rin, kung hindi man actual violence, threats of violence naman against people or property, no? Out of control or frightening behavior like breaking things, no? Meron kasi sa atin, pag nagagalit, nagtatapon ng bagay, di ba? May tinatawag na, naninira na tayo. Or driving recklessly, no? Pag galit ka, ang bilis mong magmaneho, wala kang pakialam sa kalye, ayan. Or when you avoid situations because of anxiety or depression regarding anger outbursts. Yan. So that also might mean that you need anger management. No. Last few reasons. No. If you need anger management, yan, you're susceptible to triggers. No. Ibig sabihin, dahil nga yung mga nabanggit nating triggers kanina, lagi mong na-experience. So halimbawa, kanina yung mga binanggit niyong reasons, financial problems. No. So alam mo, palagi kang may issue sa problem. So lagi kang at risk of your triggers. No? Or if your anger already leads to isolation and self-harm. Okay? So halimbawa, nagagalit ka tapos you tend to lock yourself in, nagkukulong ka na lang, or engaging in self-harm. Yan, no? Yung nanununtok ng pader, sinusugatan ng sarili, or even risk for thoughts of suicide. That can also be a yes. No? Ibig sabihin, we need anger management. Or yun nga, substance use, yung addictive behaviors na binanggit natin kanina. Ibig sabihin, kailangan na natin ng anger management. Okay? So yun yung mga basis natin. So if you said yes in any of those, yun, baka kailangan na natin mag-reflect on how we can manage our anger. Okay, so how do we do that naman? How do we make anger our friend, no? Basically, this is how we manage anger. No? I think ways and techniques on how we can manage anger. Okay, para yun nga, magamit natin siya into something that is positive and something that is beneficial for us. Okay, so first we need to pay attention. Okay, kailangan aware muna tayo on our emotions and our thoughts throughout the day. Okay? Kasi again, sometimes anger is just a mask, no? Pinagtatakpan lang niya yung ibang nararamdaman natin. Okay? So if you're not aware about your emotions, lalo yung lungkot, yung frustration, disappointment, magpa-pile up yan, may ipon yan, no? And when our emotions build up, no, parang naiipon yung pressure, we explode. Okay, yung exploding natin ng emotions na yan yung nangyayari wherein our anger becomes expressed in a negative way. No? So kailangan aware tayo of our emotions and how they're affecting us. So notice what messages this emotion bring. And when you're angry, listen to your anger. No? Kasi nga tayo tinuruan, ay wag kang magagalit, masamang magalit. So hindi tayo nagiging aware dun sa galit natin. So listen to your anger. Why am I angry? No? Bakit ako nagagalit? What's causing this? Okay? So yun yung first step. Pay attention. Know why you are angry because that can allow us now to explore what is behind our anger. Okay? Nagagalit ka ba kasi napahiya ka? 'di ba? Minsan ganoon napahiya ka ng kasama mo, kaibigan mo, katrabaho mo, and nagagalit tayo because napahiya tayo. Okay? Or you're hurt, 'di ba? Nagalit ka sa asawa mo kasi nasaktan ka dahil nagselos ka. Kanina may nakita akong answer na jealousy, 'di ba? Or na-insecure ka, 'yun, connected sa jealousy. Okay? Or 'yun, shame or vulnerability, no? Is it a mask for anxiety? Nagagalit ka ba kasi kinakabahan ka? Okay? Or baka nagalit ka kasi nung bata ka, yun yung natutunan mo, di ba? Na kapag may mali, nakita mo yun, bawa yung parents mo, nakita mo laging galit, natutunan mo na yung tamang reaction sa mga sitwasyon ay galit, di ba? So it's something that we learn as children. Okay? So dinadala natin even in our adulthood. Okay? Or sometimes, yung anger natin can be a symptom of other problems, no? Kasi baka lagi kayo nag-aaway ng asawa mo o kaya ng boyfriend, ng girlfriend mo. Tapos even in the minsan 'di ba, away natin even in the smallest things, 'di ba? Pag-uwi mo nagalit ka sa asawa mo dahil nakita mo lang nanonood ng TV, 'di ba? O kaya kumakain siya na hindi ka kasabay. Galit ka ba dahil doon or baka meron ng other problems that could already be existing in your marriage or relationship, for example, 'di ba? Baka kasi meron ka ng kinikimkim na emotions na nasasaktan ka dahil hindi kanya pinapansin, hindi kanya naalagaan, etc. Yun. Sometimes that is already manifested in anger na because of other problems that we have. Okay. Now, how do you know if your anger is something else? So, paano natin malalaman na it tells us about something? Yun, you find it difficult to compromise. Halimbawa, nahihirapan ka to understand yung point of view ng ibang tao. Okay? Halimbawa, no? Galit ka sa asawa mo. Yun nga, kasi pag uwi mo ng bahay, halimbawa, hindi pa siya nakapaghanda ng pagkain, nagalit ka. Di ba? And then, di ba, usually sinasabi natin, gutom na ako ganyan-ganyan. So, away kayo, di ba? Now, your anger could be something else if you're finding it difficult to compromise. Ibig sabihin, hindi maintindihan or hindi ka willing makinig dun sa asawa mo, dun sa reason niya kung bakit siya hindi nakapaghanda pa ng pagkain halimbawa. Kasi feeling mo dapat ikaw lang muna yung intindihin. Okay? So yan, ibig sabihin baka meron ng other reasons, no, kung bakit tayo nagagalit. Or yun nga, baka may other problems na sa relationship. Okay? So you see the differing opinion of others as a personal challenge, no? Ibig sabihin, kapag nag-away kayo ng katrabaho mo halimbawa, no, ng kasama natin sa office, tapos may pagkakaiba kayo ng opinion, feeling mo inaatake ka na. No? Ibig sabihin, it could be coming from whether our insecurities, the feeling of embarrassment, no, or even vulnerability. Or we have trouble expressing emotions other than anger. Ibig sabihin, hindi mo kaya express yung saya, yung lungkot, no? Kasi mas madali yung anger for us. Okay? Ayan. So, when we become aware of the reason behind our anger, dapat aware din tayo sa warning signs, no? Ano ba yung mga ang tawag ito? Early warning signs pag galit ka, no? How does anger feel in your body? Kaya yan, umiinit yung ulo mo, di ba? Yung literal, di ba? Minsan kaya nararamdaman mainit yung ulo mo. Diba? Kasi pag galit tayo, yung dugo napupunta sa ulo natin. Or nagki-clench ka na, no, ng kamay, no? Nagagalit ka, alam, pansin mong galit ka kapag napapa-clench ka na ng kamay, no? O kaya bumibilis ang tibok ng puso, no? O kaya yung you're pacing already or you don't need to walk around. Yan. So usually mga warning signs yun ng anger. No? So notice though, how does it feel in your body? About your thoughts. Ano man naiisip mo pag galit ka? No? Ano yung reactions, response? Halimbawa, pansin mo pag galit ka, tumataas ang boses mo. So be aware already of those warning signs. Okay? And then also yung triggers. No? Identify the triggers. Ano ba yung mga ginagawa natin or ginagawa ng ibang tao na nagtitrigger ng galit natin? Okay? Or minsan lugar yan. No? Pag napapadaan ako dun sa ganitong part, lagi ako nagagalit kasi may mga nakikita ako na nakakagalit sa akin doon, no? O kaya mga task, di ba? Pag may inutos sa iyo na ganito, nagagalit ka. Or kanina, nabanggit, the trigger of anger is when people are not following orders, di ba? Lalo sa atin, sa uniform service, syempre, sa PNP, talagang importante ang pagsunod ng orders, di ba? Pag hindi sumunod, nagagalit ka na kaagad. So, those are your triggers. So, dapat aware tayo dyan kasi when we understand our triggers, mas madali natin ngayong malabanan, no? Yung negative expression of anger. Okay? So, that's another technique, no, when we control our anger. So how do we now control our anger? No? Ano ba yung mga ways? If we cannot control our anger, the best thing that you can do also, no, and a simple thing that you can do is to move around. Okay? kumilos ka. Kasi yung galit natin may energy, may physical energy na dala yan. And sometimes you just have to release that energy. Di ba? Kaya gusto mong manuntok minsan kasi may energy yung dala yung galit mo. Okay? So instead of hurting yourself or other people or destroying property, ilipat mo, i-channel mo yung anger na yan to something else. Okay? So move around. Okay? And moving around can also allow you to distance yourself. Okay? Dun sa situation. So physically, nakakalayo ka. So hindi mo masasaktan yung taong kaharap mo. Wala kang masasabi, magagawa that can hurt them. And metaphorically, we distance ourselves dun sa reason ng anger. Okay? And as we do this, we now learn ways on how we can cool down. No? Paano nga ba mapababa yung galit natin? Okay? Ito, mga simpleng technique lang to. No? Natuturo ko kasi para magamit natin anytime lang. Okay? So ito mga baka narinig nyo na before pero sometimes you don't practice them but they're very helpful in managing our anger. No? Ba, triggers, di ba? Alam mo yung trigger mo? Yung kanina, not following orders. Okay? You find out that na yung subordinate mo did not follow orders. Before you say anything or do anything, take a deep breath. Okay? Hinga ka lang muna. No? And these are some of the breathing tech exercises that we teach. No? Remember po, no, when we try to calm down, deep breath dapat. So when we talk about deep breaths, as you inhale, dapat yung diaphragm natin, yung chan natin, yun yung nag-expand. Okay? As you inhale, notice your diaphragm expanding. Okay? Tayo kasi chest breathers tayo, di ba? As you breathe, di ba? Pansin mo yung chest yung nag-expand. Usually we do that when we need to energize ourselves. Diba? Mag-workout, diba? May mga routines tayong ginagawa. If you need to energize yourself, you breathe through your chest. Okay? But if you want to relax, you breathe through your diaphragm. Yung deep breaths natin. So pag inhale, yung chan dapat yung nag-expand. Okay? So as you exhale, when you want to calm down, ang exhale natin sa bibig yung labas ng hangin. Okay? So yung square, sorry. Yung square breathing na tinatawag, no? For you to do this, so kaya sa square breathing, imagine a square, no? Visualize a square in front of you. Each side of the square is 4 seconds. Okay? So as you move dun sa square, so if you follow my finger lang sa video, as you move to the square, pataas, inhale, 4 counts. So inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then hold your breath, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then hold your breath, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then ulitin mo lang. No? So you're moving around the square as you breathe. Take 4 counts on each side. No? So that's square breathing na tinatawag. Another is finger breathing na tinatawag. No? So yung finger breathing, if you can see my screen, basically you're tracing your hand lang. Ganito ginagawa niyo po. No? So you trace the outline of your hand with your index finger. Okay? Ganyan lang siya, tinitrace. So bakit siya finger breathing? As you move up your finger, you inhale. No? Move up, inhale, pause, sa dulo, move down, exhale naman. Okay, pause sa dulo, no? Then move up ulit, inhale, pause, move down, exhale. So ganun yung finger breathing, no? So move up, inhale, 1, 2, 3, pause, move down, exhale, 1, 2, 3, pause, then move up ulit, ganun. Tuloy-tuloy siya. So you're breathing around your finger, no? Ito, tinatawag din namin itong grounding. No? Ibig sabihin, it helps us be grounded to focus on the here and now kasi your sensation din as you move your hand, nakaka-relax din yan. Hindi lang paggalit, no? Pwede rin gamitin ito kapag nagpapanik tayo, we're anxious, we're worried, ayan, helpful yung finger breathing din. No? So, ayan, kapag may nakita na kayong kasama niyo na gumaganyan, ibig sabihin, nag-finger breathing sila. And then yung 5-4-5 breathing naman, this is also another breathing technique. No? As you inhale, you count 1 to 5, pause ng 1 to 4, then exhale ng 1 to 5. So inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hold 1, 2, 3, 4, and then exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ganun naman siya. No? So 5-4-5 technique siya. Yung iba kasi nahihirapan dun sa 5-4-5 kasi it's too long for them. So pwede yung 4-3-4 naman. No? Pwedeng bawasan. There are some techniques naman na 7-5-7 yung ginagamit. No? 7 counts inhale, 5 counts hold, 7 counts exhale. Pero again, depende on our comfort level. No? With that. So that's one, breathing exercises. Nakakatulong na yan to reduce our anger. No? Other physical activities, ayan, yung brisk walking. No? Pag galit ka, go out. Lakad ka muna, mabilisan. No? Do some quick walks. kahit punta ka lang muna ng CR halimbawa, labas ka muna ng office, no? Just to do some physical activities. Exercise, no, can also be helpful. Stretching can be helpful. Or if nasa bahay ka, ito minsan mabilis to na technique din, you clean your house, no? Clean your room halimbawa, kasi that can channel yung anger natin into something else. Okay? Remember, when you engage kasi on physical exercises, our body reduces yung tinatawag nating cortisol. It's a stress hormone, no? Which is responsible dun sa increase ng heart rate natin and our blood pressure. Okay? So that when you're angry yun, nababawasan yun, and the physical activity actually triggers yung production naman ng endorphins, no? Yung mga tinatawag nating happy hormones, or those that trigger yung positive feeling sa atin. Okay? And then another, ito proven to na technique, no? At pinakamabilis din to na technique, count to 10 na technique, no? Pag galit ka, bilang ka lang. Before you say or do anything, just count to 10. Okay? So pag nagalit ka, nakita mo yung bills, no? Yung bill ng kuryente, bago ka mag-react, magsabi ng kahit ano sa mga anak mo dahil sa paggamit nila ng computer, kaka-charge ng cellphone, bilang ka muna ng 10. No? Just count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yan lang. Okay? Yung counting to 10 will not deal with the problem, definitely, no? But that few seconds, yung 10 seconds na yan that you're going to pause for a while, it can help you ngayon reduce lang yung intensity ng anger so that you don't say something, no? Or do something that can actually affect other people. Okay? And of course, remember there are healthy ways also to express anger. Remember, fight fair, no? Kapag nakikipag-away tayo, whether verbally, well, mas dapat verbally lang, tama, pag-away physically. Remember that if you are fighting your partners, the relationship can break down quickly. No? But remember, as we fight fair, that means we allow each of us to express our feelings and our needs, and at the same time respecting, no, our partners or our colleagues. Okay. Remember, if you're angry, make the relationship your priority. Okay? Kung asawa natin, girlfriend, boyfriend natin, yung kaaway natin, unahin yung relationship, no? Mas importante ang relasyon kesa ang manalo ka dun sa argument. Okay? Focus on the present. Minsan kasi pag galit tayo, di ba? Binabalik natin yung mga issues nung nakaraan, di ba? Inahalungkat natin yung mga nangyari before. So focus lang din sa present. Okay? Of course, be willing to forgive and also know when to leave or to let go. No? Kasi importante yun. Ito ba, kailangan ko bang panghawakan tong away na to? No? Baka naman pwede ko nang i-let go tong issue na to para hindi na lang umabot sa galit. Okay? And of course, no, staying calm through self-care then is important kasi anger can be caused also by other things. So manage your stress. No? Napaka-importante niyan. Make sure that you practice, no, yung mga relaxation exercises din para hindi tayo laging stressed. Manage our time and energy, and importante din po yan. No? Talk to someone, especially someone that you trust, kasi when you talk to someone, that can help reduce na yung intensity ng anger. Tulog po is important, no? Sabi nga, sleep is life, no? When pag kulang ang tulog natin, mas prone tayong magalit. Or food, no? Kasi ako, halimbawa, alam ko yung sarili ko, pag gutom ako, madali akong magalit eh. Kaya alam din ng mga kasama ko, pag galit na ako, ibig sabihin, gutom na ako, no? And then, exercise regularly, and of course, be responsible with alcohol and even caffeine, no? Even coffee, kasi naka-increase po yan ng ating anxiety and stress hormones minsan. Okay? So yun yung mga other important tips to remember. No? So those are the different ways that we can do to manage our anger. So as I end po my quick discussion this morning, allow me to leave you two things. No? I found two important quotes with regards to anger. Sabi ni Ang Lee, sometimes you have to get angry to get things done. Di ba? Yun nga, kanina nakita ko yung mga sagot nyo. Nagagalit tayo kasi tamad yung katrabaho natin, yung makasama natin. Sometimes, di ba, we have to get angry so that things get done. Di ba? Para hindi na hindi na tamarin yung kasama natin. Pero remember also that anger, if not restrained, is frequently more hurtful to us, sa sarili natin, than the injury that provokes it. Okay? So as much as we need anger to get things done, remember that sometimes anger hurts you more than what the injury that triggered your anger. And I hope you learned something from me this morning po, especially on how we manage our anger. So thank you very much. I'll hand it over now to Doc Aika again for the next part of the program. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Renz, for that very insightful lecture. I learned a lot, even as a doctor. So with that, Dr. Renz, maybe you have a few minutes long for some Q&A. So if you have questions, I'll just entertain a few since we are limited with time. But let me start off first with a question while waiting for the others. Doc Renz, paano kung yung ating friend or family member or colleague, napansin natin may anger management issues siya? So what can we do as a friend, a family member to help them?
Ayan, thank you, Doc. Kasi kanina pinag-usapan natin sa sarili, di ba? But how do we deal with people who are angry? The best way is to actually communicate to them, no, what they're doing when they're angry. Okay? Pero don't do that when they're angry. Halimbawa, galit na siya. Tapos sabihin mo, oy, kailangan mo ng anger management, no? Lalong magagalit yan, di ba? So, allow them muna, of course, to calm down before we talk about that. No? So, pag galit na sila, ang pinakasimpleng techniques, huwag mong sabayan, di ba? So pag sinabayan natin ng galit yung family member, friend natin, loved ones natin, talagang maglalaban lang tayo. So if galit na sila, as much as possible, tayo magko-control tayo. So we talk to them calmly, no? Tayo yung maging mahinahon sa pagsagot. No? Ngayon, after that, halimbawa, natapos na, kalmado na sila, talk to them. Tell them your observations. No? Ako mayroon akong parang formula dyan, no? What you observe, express your concern, and what they need to do, no? So what you observe, sabihin mo sana, "Oy friend, oy honey, baby, napansin ko pag galit ka, sumisigaw ka tapos minsan nakakapanakit ka na, no? That's observation, no? Yung second part is concern. Worried na kasi ako para sa iyo eh. Kasi pansin ko pag nagagalit ka, ang init ng ulo mo, baka mapano ka pa kasi yung mataas pa naman ang BP mo, ganyan. No? So express my concern, worried na ako for you. No? So pag sinabi mo lang, pansin ko pag galit ka, nananakit ka na, tapos tumigil ka na doon, magiging defensive sila, 'di ba? Hindi ka na hindi ka na makikinig, 'di ba? So express that. Pansin ko pag galit ka, medyo nakakapanakit ka na or nakikita ko talagang umiinit yung ulo mo. Nagwo-worry na ako kasi baka tumaas yung BP mo, mapano ka pa, 'di ba? So yun yung concern. Third, 'di ba, din sa formula, anong pwede nilang gawin, 'di ba? So share mo sana yung natutunan natin ngayon, di ba? O pag pansin ko kasi pag galit ka, ganito yung nangyayari sa'yo, worried na ako. So siguro pag galit ka, before ka magsalita, hinga ka muna, di ba? Pause ka muna, count to 10 ka muna, ganyan. O kaya pag galit ka, inom ka muna ng tubig para hindi masyadong matindi yung galit. Ngayon, so, di ba, pag tingnan mo, ang simple lang yan na technique, no? Pero you're able to communicate what happens. Kasi pag hindi natin yan in-address that way, yun nga, lalo lang tayo mag-aaway. No? So yan, simple lang na technique. Share your observations, express your concern, teach them, help them what they can do, like yung natutunan natin ngayon, so that they can also practice that. Ayan. So I hope, Doc, that answers also the question and it can help others to do that.
Yes, definitely, Doc Renz. Wag natin sabayan yung galit, di ba? So maybe I'll just take this as a last question since wala naman masyadong questions. There's a question here, Doc Renz. Is it healthy po na kinikimkim ang galit? Kasi natatakot po ako na baka masama gawin sa sarili niya or yung taong kagalit ko. So yun yung question niya.
Oo, ang simple answer natin dyan, masama pong kimkimin yung galit. No? Kasi the more that we keep our anger sa atin, dun po lumalabas yung negative expression ng anger. No? So imagine nga po yan, na parang pressure yan, no? Na naiipon, no? Parang sa bomba, naipon yung pressure, di ba? Tapos sasabog tayo, di ba? So the best thing pa rin po is to express our anger. Ngayon, if we're afraid, kasi alam natin, ay paggalit kasi ako, alam ko, nananakit ako or ganito. So if you're aware of that, yun nga po, that actually tells us ngayon na mas kailangan nating i-manage yung anger natin in a healthy way. So yun nga, yung expression. So alam mong galit ka, before you express it, yun, take a pause muna, hinga ka muna, walk around, okay? And then afterwards, express, no? Tell the person who angered you, bakit ka nagalit? No? Bawa, nagalit ka sa katrabaho mo. Uy, pare, nagalit ako sa'yo kanina kasi hindi mo ginawa yung trabaho mo. Diba? At least na-communicate mo siya. You express it in a healthy way. So yun po, yun yung short answer natin. Masamang kimkimin yung galit. Mas maganda po ina-express, pero dapat in a healthy way or in a positive way as much as possible.
Yes, tama yun, Doc Renz. Baka magka-high blood. So iba naman
Yes,
problema natin. We have to manage the hypertension at the end of the road, diba? So ito la, Doc Renz, this is a good question la. I would like to ask. Question here is from Rosario Jr. Ask ko lang po if there's something to do with age of a person when it comes to anger. So pag tumatanda ba, mas nagiging galit? Second, is there a thing that anger is namamana or is it something that we can inherit?
Yung dun sa age, actually, one thing that we observe, no, kami mga psychologists, as we become older, no? Usually mas madali tayong maging magagalitin. Okay? Kasi nga, we tend to lose patience already or because we have other causes ng stress, no? Mas madali tayong magalit. But it's not always about age. Okay? It's usually about the experiences that we have as we get to that age. Kasi meron namang mga matatanda na pero hindi nagiging magagalitin. Okay? Usually, yun nga po, mas tinignan natin yung mga internal na conflicts natin as we become older, no? Like for yung mga lolo't lola natin minsan, 'di ba? Pansin niyo mas madaling magalit kasi sila, sometimes they're already in that age, no? Na focus na sila on what they can leave in this world, no? Yung mga contributions nila sa mundo if they lived a good life. So minsan when they reflect, feeling nila hindi sila naging mabuting ina, ama, mas madali na silang magalit. So sometimes yung mga it's not the age kumbaga per se, but actually the emotional conflicts na meron at that age. Yung second question, is it is it hereditary ba, no? The answer po is no, no. Hindi siya hereditary. Well, technically hereditary yung emotion, no? Namamana natin kasi feeling yan. Pero yung expression, kung halimbawa negative yung expression natin ng anger, hindi po yan hereditary. Ano po yan, it's a learned behavior. Ibig sabihin, natututunan kasi natin siya. Diba? So, as you grow up, kung nakikita mo sa bahay, ang way nila of dealing with anger, nagsasakitan, you learn, no? Na kapag galit ka, mananakit ka ng ibang tao. Diba? If nakita mo na paggalit, sumisigaw, alam mo, na kapag galit ka, sisigaw ka dapat. Diba? Nakita mo yung nanay mo, tatay mo, nagalit, kumuha ng plato, binasag, you learn that that's how you express anger. Diba? Pero, if sa bahay, nakita mo na paggalit yung nanay mo, upo muna siya, hihinga muna siya, bago siya magsalita, you learn, okay, paggalit pala dapat ganito. Di ba? So yun po, hindi siya namamana, pero natututunan natin siya. So kayo, yung mga magulang po, no, when you express your anger, careful tayo kasi kung anong nakita ng mga anak ninyo on how you express your anger, yan yung gagawin nila pag sila naman na yung nagagalit. Ayan. Ayan, Doc.
Yeah, thank you so much, Doc Renz. Tama yun. So it's not just about the genes, but also yung impact ng environment, yung nakikita natin, no, influences yung ating emotions.
Yes.
But with that, since we are lacking a bit of time, I'll take that as the last question. Thank you so much again, Doc Renz, for your time and sharing your knowledge. Yes. And now let's move on to our second lecture. So before that, since we're in the middle of our program, konting exercise lang mo tayo. If I could request everybody to stand up, tayo muna tayong lahat. Like me, I'm standing up para magising tayo ng konti. And let's do the breathing exercise na tinuro ni Doc Renz. Okay, so let's all shake our hands up. Breathe in. And breathe out, shake your hands down. Okay, gayahin niyo po ako. Breathe in, shake your hands up. And breathe out, shake your hands down. Last, breathe in. You release ang anger. And breathe out, shake your hands down. Shake na natin yung ating legs. Now, I want you to face to the right. Okay, your right po natin, kanan. And masahin niyo po yung katabi niyo kung may katabi kayo ngayon. And to the left. Kung may katabi kayo sa left, masahin niyo naman po yun. Kung walang katabi, masahin niyo lang po yung sarili niyo. Okay? So, hopefully with that lecture by Dr. Renz, hindi na po tayo galit. So next, since we did a bit of exercise, tamang-tama po, we will be talking about lifestyle management. So sino dito ang ready maging healthy? Raise your hand. Meron tayong reaction button dyan. Sinong ready maging sexy? Sinong ready maging macho? Oh, madami nag-raise ng hand. So we are in luck because for a second lecture, we have Men's Health and Lifestyle Management by Dr. Paulo Dipasupil. So just to introduce him very briefly, Dr. Dipasupil is a obesity and lifestyle medicine physician, researcher, and wellness speaker. He received his training in lifestyle medicine from the Institute of Lifestyle Medicine and American College of Lifestyle Medicine. He's a founding member and current secretary, as well as a board member of the Philippine College of Lifestyle Medicine. He is also the founding member and vice president of the Philippine Digital Medicine Society, as well as an active member of the Obesity Society in the USA and Philippine Association for Study of Overweight and Obesity. So again, let's give a warm welcome of applause to Dr. Paulo Dipasupil. Doc Jan?
Hi, good morning everyone. Thank you, Dr. Aika, for introducing me. Ang ganda ng lecture kanina, no? Siguro nabawasan na yung ating anger. Ngayon siguro dapat na nakita ko sa one of the tips, we have to let go. Ano ba yung mga pwede nating i-let go, no? Siguro yung mga pagkain na unhealthy, no? Baka we have to let go yung mga certain mga unhealthy lifestyle na para baka lang maapekto sa ating health. So we need to know ano itong mental health, itong men's health and itong lifestyle management, okay? So I'm just going to share my screen. So in this part, we have to know ano ba itong men's health. Dati, mental health, physical health, self-care. Ngayon, tututok tayo sa very specific, ano ba mga nararamdaman ng mga lalaki, no? As we age. Tapos, titigan din natin ano mga top 7 health risks na we could face. And I'll be sharing some of the tips para maging healthy tayo, no? And ways to look after their well-being. Okay? So, umpisahan natin, no? Umpisahan natin ano ang men's health, okay? So, physical health din to, no? Well, it refers to both the physical and mental health problems that are concerned for men and to health differentials among men. Pero, ang itatakol natin kasi is the physical aspect na sabi ni Dr. Renz, yung sa mental health. No? Just to give you a trivia, no? Ang mga lalaki ba? Siguro raise nga natin kung talaga bang ayaw ba nating magpa-check up? Masakit-sakit na siguro yung ating mga likod, no? Ayaw pa rin natin magpa-check up. Mataas yung blood pressure, ayaw pa rin natin magpa-check up. Siguro it's one of our masculinity, no? We are independent, no? Parang gusto natin, baka mawawala rin naman yan, no? So ito nakita nila that men use less preventive healthcare services o pag-check up sa mga doktor, no? Compared sa mga babae. At siguro, isa na rin na nakita nila, yung lifespan ng mga lalaki ay mas maikli, no? Kaysa sa mga babae. Okay? Nakita din nila na ang mga lalaki are more likely to smoke, no? Baka hindi na smoke ngayon, nagve-vape na siguro iba, no? So, as umiinom pa. And then they partake in risky behaviors, siguro kakain na lang. Iba, nakaupo na lang, hindi na sila nag-exercise sa every morning. Dati, di ba, kailangan mo mag-exercise, part of your program yan. Ngayon, medyo lumalaki mga tiyan nyo, hindi na siguro kasya yung mga uniforms nyo nung before the pandemic. No? So that could be a risky behavior. And we spend less for health. Okay? So, paano naman yung mga factors? Bakit tayo nagkakaroon ng hindi maganda ang health? First is the lack of awareness na meron palang mga sakit na pwede mangyari sa atin maski mga edad natin mga 30s, 40s o baka lalo na mga 50s or 60 years old. Second part, we are not open about yung mga issues natin. Alam natin may nararamdaman na tayo. Ayaw mo pa sabihin sa inyong asawa o sa partner mo, no? So baka alam mo naman na nakakaapekto na pala yung mga ginagawa mo, ayaw mo pa rin mag-open up. So that could be another factor. Or we're not taking actions. Binigay na sa iyo yung medication, binigay na sa iyo ang kailangan mong gawin, hindi mo pa rin ginagawa. Sinabi ng inyong doktor na, kain ka ng ganitong mga pagkain para iwasan na natin yung sakit na ganito, no? Diabetes, hindi pa rin, no? Pinakain ka kasi libre, no? And some risky lifestyle na nakita din natin na ang vaping ay siguro trending kaya yun ang ginagamit ng iba. Hindi natin alam na ang vaping ay hindi po recommended na as a substitute for smoking. And isa na rin is societal stigmas. No? Siguro sa isang organization nyo po, parang ayaw nyo pag-usapan siguro ang mga sakit. Pero kung pag-uusapan nyo po mga interest nyo, baka mas madali mapag-usapan yan. No? Now, punta tayo sa mga top 7 health risks for men. Ang unang-una ay yung cardiovascular disease. Okay? At ang cardiovascular disease, medyo marami-rami yan. Ang nakita nila, ang mga lalaki ay the average age for death from cardiovascular disease is under 65, and yung arteries natin nagde-develop ng atherosclerosis. Ano ba itong atherosclerosis? Parang ang lalim naman. Ito yung namuo na mga cholesterol na kinain nyo sigurong sisig, yung pata, no? Ano yung mga deep fried nyo pa, namumuo dun sa ating blood vessel yan. And men have to work harder to reduce the risk for heart disease, and we need to have physical activity. One of the studies, they found that 18 million individuals die from cardiovascular disease, yung sakit sa puso. And then 1/3 ay before ng 70 years old. Tingnan natin sa Pilipinas, ano yung mga causes of death? Ang number 1 ay ischemic heart disease, yung sakit sa puso. Pangalawa is yung stroke. Pangatlo ay yung cancer. Pang-apat, diabetes. At yung pang-lima is yung COVID. So, hindi lang po ang COVID-19 ang ating kailangan tignan ng pansin. Kasama dapat yung mga lifestyle diseases na isa na rin ay yung cardiovascular disease. So, ano ba yung mga simptomas na dapat nating tandaan? No? Kung meron na tayong nararamdaman na baka kailangan na isugod ito sa hospital. Kailangan ko ng within 90 minutes, no, 120 minutes, dalhin ko na ikaw sa hospital. Unang-una is yung chest pain. Kung nagra-radiate o pupunta yan sa ating kaliwang bahagi ng ating kamay, isip-isip, okay ka lang, relax ka lang. Yung sinabi ni Dr. Renz na dapat deep breathing exercise, sabihin mo yun sa taong nagkakaroon chest pain, tapos dalhin mo sa hospital. Kung walang, ambulansya. Next, swollen feet. Namamaga ang mga yung inyong mga paa, no, hanggang sa legs nyo, baka meron na pong impending na heart failure, no? Naapektuhan yung pagtibok ng ating puso, nahihirapan din sa paghinga. Laging kung dati you're climbing 1 or 2 flights of stairs, no? 2 palapag, ngayon parang ang bilis mong mapagod, tapos nagbo-blue pa yung inyong mga skin, no? So that is cyanosis, no? At isa na rin ay palpitations. So kung meron kayong iniinom na mga gamot o nasusobra ng pag-inom niyo ng energy drinks, sino ba umiinom ng mga energy drinks para lang magkaroon ng alert niya sa gabi? Tingnan nga natin kung meron. Tingnan nga natin. Isa lang. So wala pala masyado nag-energy drinks. Siguro milk tea. Yan yung mga iniinom nyo. So kung sobra ang palpitations nyo, masama yan sa ating puso. Okay? Huwag nyo pong iinom po ng mga energy drinks. Ha? At kung ganyan, pwede po maapekto ang ating puso and may lead to heart attack. No? So, what could be yung best diet na pwede sa mga heart conditions? Base sa studies, at this is well studied, no, ang Mediterranean diet. Huwag niyo isipin masyadong masyadong social, no. Itong point lang na Mediterranean diet, kumakain po na mas maraming gulay, no. Iniiwasan nila ang maraming karne at tumututok sa isda, no. At meron ding grains, no. Pwedeng may rice, no. Meron ding bread. Okay? Tapos may nuts din sila. Okay? Iwas talaga sila sa mga processed, let's say yung mga powdered preparations, no? Instant products. Yan ang Mediterranean diet. At nakita nila, itong diet ay nagpapareduce ng heart disease by about 40%. Kung ayaw nyo naman itong gantong kind of diet, at itong ina-advise ng mga doktor nyo, kung mataas ang mga blood pressure nyo, is yung DASH diet. Okay? Ang DASH diet, ang ibig sabihin ay dietary approaches to stop hypertension. Ang principle nito na sinasabi rin ng mga doktor ay bawasan nyo ang mga maalat na pagkain. Kung titingnan nyo sa isang nutrition facts, no, meron nakasulat dun sodium. So parte yun ng isang asin. No? So ang target natin ay 2,300 milligrams of sodium. Or para lang hindi na maiwasan yung pag-iisip, dapat limitado natin ang asin ng 1 teaspoon sa isang araw. Paano naman kung kayo ay napasarap ang kain nyo, no? Nabigyan kayo ng chicken, no? May soy sauce, ang daming mga sausawan. Ang 1 tablespoon ng soy sauce is about 2,300 milligrams din yan. Ha? Paano kung nilagay mo yan sa inyong kanin? Ginawa nyo siyang sabaw. Pwedeng tumaas talaga ang blood pressure mo niyan. At huwag nyo rin kakalimutan ang mga broth cubes na pangpalasa, no? Pinapalasa mo talaga yung sabaw. Pero alam mo, ang Knorr cubes, or the boilon cubes that we call it, you have to limit it. Kasi kung sa isang Boilen cubes na yan, that's about 2,200 din. Kaya kung 4 o 5, para lang pampalasa, no, baka tataas ang blood pressure mo din dyan. Okay? So that is one of the advices that we could give for people na merong sakit din sa puso o gusto rin nilang magpababa ng or prevent the heart conditions. So ano ba yung mga ways to choose the best cardiovascular or heart diet? Una is yung factors, kung pasok ba sa budget ba yan, no? Well proven ba yan, no? At saka nabibili nyo rin ba itong mga pagkain sa inyong probinsya, sa inyong mga lugar, no? Baka yung Mediterranean diet too much naman. Baka pwede naman tayo sa mababang sodium o mababang asin. Isa na rin na sinasabi ng mga inyong doktor ay yung mga type of fat. So iwas tayo sa mga trans fat, no? Kasi masama po 'yun at ito po ay nagpapadagdag palalo ng atherosclerosis o yung cholesterol sa ating blood vessel. Isa na rin yung saturated fat. Okay, so saan po ba natin na makukuha yung mga ganito? Alam niyo naman siguro kung saan yung mga matataas na mga gantong taba, no? So mga prito, no? Puro taba na kinakain natin, no? Processed foods. Trans fat naman sa mga butter, margarine din po yan at sa mga pastries na nakakain natin. Okay? So hinay-hinay lang, no? So ang advice naman dito, huwag niyo isipin na kami mga doctors laging sasabihin niyo bawal yan. Kami naman, subukan mo muna 1, 2 ang pagbawas. Okay? Para hindi naman masyado mag-init din ang ulo mo. Gusto mo nang bugbugin yung doktor na nag-advise sa'yo dahil wala ka nang kakainin. Siguro bawasan mo na lang para hindi ka masyadong malungkot. No? Pangalawa, the second na top na risk, no, sa mga lalaki ay yung lung cancer. Dahil naninigarilyo. That is the most common, no? O mga iba tumitingin sa paligid, alam niyo naman bawal, no? Tapos iba ilalagay niyo po yung mga cigarette butts sa tabi, no? Dapat meron kayong sariling lalagyanan kung gusto niyo itapon, pero para mas malinis ang inyong environment ay huwag po kayo manigarilyo. Tingnan niyo, tobacco smoke causes 90% of all lung cancers and the leading cancer killer in men, no? At kita nila, no, na tingnan nyo, almost 11 or 117,000 no, cases of lung cancers ang natuklasan worldwide and 25% of cancer deaths are lung cancer. So mukhang masarap nga, no? Kasi ang smoking, may nicotine siya. At siya yun para nagre-reward sa atin. Para siyang pagkain, para siyang alak, para siyang sex. So para nakaka-reward, nakaka-addict. Kaya hindi nyo matanggal-tanggal yan. Kaya you have to stop smoking. Mamaya ibibigyan ko kayo ng tip. So ito yung mga common lung cancer symptoms if no, nahihiya kang magpa-check up, no? So alamin mo din kung ubo ka ng ubo, no? Mahigit 2 linggo na, ubo ka pa rin ng ubo, no? Tapos merong dugo. O baka may unexplained weight loss, merong pagkapagod and may chest pain. Pero karamihan, kung ganito, lalo sa mga bata, baka isipin naman ay TB. So, ang isang doktor ay titingnan niya talaga kung ano po ba ang inyong nararamdaman at yung health profile. Pero sa mga mahilig mahilig manigarilyo, tapos ganito yung mga simptomas, talagang nakita mo nangayayat siya, magpa-check up po, ipa-check up niyo po ang isang tao po yun. Now, ano mga tips na pwede nating ibigay? Meron tayong nakikita mga nicotine replacement o mga chewing gum na nabibili sa over-the-counter. Pero kami, mga doktor, kung pwede, magpa-check up muna kayo bago muna bilhin po yun. Wag na wag po ang gagamitin ng vaping para lang mapalitan ang habit na yun. Sabihin nila, okay lang yun kasi ang vaping less walang nicotine. Okay lang ang light cigarette, no? Kasi light nga siya. Hindi po, no? Kasi kung light, mas lalo po kayo magpa-puff niyan, no? So, try to avoid the triggers. Kung siguro yung kaninang lumingon, o ikaw ang ikaw pa rin nagbibigay sa akin, o baka pwedeng, hinay-hinay lang, hindi ko kaya. No? Iniisip ko po ang aking pamilya. Minsan, one of your goal is, isipin niyo ang pamilya niyo. Isipin mo kung makakaakit ka pa sa stage ng inyong anak. No? So yan yung mga goals mo dapat para ma-quit mang smoking. And delay mo yung cravings din. Minsan, inom ka ng tubig. No? Minsan, you have to work talaga para ma-delay mo yung cravings na yan. And Huwag mong kakalimutan din, say no, even just one. Okay? Kasi kung mabait ka, laging sige, okay lang yan. Wala na, magtutuloy-tuloy na yan. Pangatlo na top risk is yung prostate enlargement and cancer. Unahin ko muna yung prostate cancer. Isa na naman po siyang leading cause of death sa mga lalaki at common cancer sa mga lalaki. 1 in 6 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime. At isang nakita nila, ito, papakita ko po ang difference ng normal sa kaliwa, yung kanan ay yung may cancer. Kasi kung sinabi mong cancer, merong growth, may kakaibang growth ng cells natin. At tignan nyo po siya, may daluyan tayo ng pag-ihi, yung urethra. Diba? Ang bladder, dun po yung storage, parang bangko. Tapos kung mag-withdraw kayo, iihi kayo, dun dadaan sa urethra. Pero dahil may prostate tayo, yan po, kung lumaki yan, pwede niya ma-obstruct, baka hirap kayo umihi. So ano ba mga simptomas ng may prostate cancer? Ihi sila ng ihi, pero hindi sila makatanggal lahat. No? May nocturia o ibig sabihin nito, nighttime na umiihi. Okay? Meron ding decrease of force of the urination. Ibig sabihin, imbis na dire-diretso ang inyong pag-ihi, no, dapat 'di ba sa mga urinary bowls, 'di ba? Meron minsan yung mga dot doon para ta-target mo. Iba hindi maka-target doon, no? Biglang pumupunta sa ibang direction, no? And then yung urgency to urinate. So yan yung mga ibang signs or symptoms of prostate cancer. Paano naman ang BPH or prostate enlargement? Wala pong relation ang prostate enlargement sa cancer. Okay? Kung meron pong nasabi siguro na lumaki daw ang prostate mo, then may bibigay pong gamot ang isang doktor na para lang magkaroon ng magandang daluyan, no, para hindi rin kayo mahirapan umihi. Pero wala pong studies na magsasabi na may concrete na link ang enlargement of your prostate sa cancer. At nakita nila, isang common risk factor na bakit lumalaki ang prostate ng mga lalaki ay sa age. So karamihan, it's above 60 years old. And male sex hormones that come with aging is a factor. Okay? So paano naman ang prostate enlargement? So same lang ang growth. Wala kang nakitang new growth or new cells. Lumalaki lang talaga siya ng bahagya. Okay? So tignan lang natin yung mga statistics na napansin din nila. 1 in 8 of men will be diagnosed of prostate cancer in the lifetime din, no? And tignan nyo, 6 in 10, no? 6 in 10 of diagnosed men are 65 years old and above. So, if you have parents, if you are already nearing that age, minsan ang mga 55 years old and above, ina-advise na po magpa-PSA, pero it depends on your urologist. Okay? So have a routine checkup with your doctor. At kung sa tingin mo, nahirapan ka umihi, well, you have to get some advice or consult with the doctor. Next, what are some foods to eat to help with the prostate health? No? Meron sila nakita ang tomatoes daw ay nakakatulong kasi may antioxidant. Napapanood niyo to sa inyong mga TVs, diba? Ang ketchup. Ito kakaiba to sa mga vegetables. Kasi ang tomatoes, kung mas lalo mo siyang niluluto, naging parang ketchup, naging tomato sauce, mas lalong nag-enhance yung lycopene na antioxidant. And somehow, it's given that it may reduce the risk of prostate cancer. Okay? Isa na naman ay yung broccoli. Meron din phytochemicals that may try to target and kill the cancer cells. But these are just preliminary studies. I'm not saying that they are going to treat. They're just going to help us, no? Next, meron daw sinabi ang green tea. No? Meron mga studies daw nagsasabi it may reduce the risk of prostate cancer. At yung fish, lalo na itong omega-3 or yung fish oil that we know it's good for the brain, meron rin siyang nagpapababa din ng mga mga risk factors. The next na health risk ay yung andropause. Alam niyo ba ang andropause? First time niyo pa ba nakarinig ng andropause? So, alam niyo man ang menopause. Alam niyo po ang menopause. Nako, sa mga siguro wala pang asawa, no? Siguro wala pang idea nun. Pero kung sinabi mong menopause, ito yung parang hindi na po siya nakakaroon ng or magkaroon, hindi na siya pwedeng mabuntis, no? Dahil nagkakaroon ng changes na. Pero yun sa babae. Sa lalaki, andropause, no? Kung sinabi mong andropause, ito po ay a decrease in the sexual satisfaction and function in men. No? Meron decline in the general well-being of men due to lowering levels niya ng testosterone. So, tinatawag siyang male menopause. At dito, kailangan sigurong malaman kung bakit wala siyang gana, no? Bakit wala siyang sexual drive, no? At baka magpapa-check up siya, check yung testosterone hormone na mas marami sa mga lalaki. At kung mababa yun, bibigyan po siya ng hormonal replacement. Okay? Nakita nila na 30% ng mga edad na 50 years old may experience the andropause. So, hindi lang ang mga babae po ang mga nababawasan din ng sexual drive, pwede rin ang mga lalaki, no? So baka iba pa yung iisipin nyo, no? Next, 10% decrease of testosterone per decade starting from age 30. So isa na rin na tinitigan din natin ay yung lifestyle nyo, no? So punta muna tayo sa simptomas ng andropause. So isa siguro ay nabawasan na ang inyong sexual drive, and meron depression, meron din sleep disturbances, may muscle loss. Ito kasi ang testosterone ay nagpapataas, nagbibuild ng muscle. Kita nyo sa mga nag-gym, di ba? Ang lalaki ng mga muscle. So matataas din ang mga testosterone hormones nila. Pero kung mababa, muscle loss, no? Minsan may hot flashes, may weight gain, and so on. So ano ba ang pwede natin gawin para ma-prevent natin yung gantong andropause o mawalan tayo ng sexual drive, no? So it's one part of physical well-being. First, isa na sasabihin ko, medyo gas-gas na rin, no? Yung vegetables, fruits, iwas tayo sa mga processed foods, at tutulong sa atin mag-build ng muscle ay yung protina. May calculation lang kaming ginagawa, no? Pero this is just a guide. Sinasabi po nila, let's say yung timbang mo ay 70 kilograms. So times 1.5, yan po, makakakuha ka dapat ng ganyan na protina per day. Tapos, ang fiber mo ay mataas. Preferably nasa 30 grams of fiber. Isa na rin nagpapababa ng inyong cholesterol din po ang fiber. At huwag nyo kakalimutan, physical activity o exercise na sinasabi natin. Ang target natin ay 150 minutes in a week. Kung nag-exercise kayo, kasama na po ang bodybuilding, nagbubuhat kayo, tumataas lalo ang testosterone hormones mo or yung male hormones mo. Okay? So, try to do this simple lifestyle interventions para gumanda rin ang inyong sexual drive. Next, diabetes naman. No? Madami sigurong pakain na nangyari o baka kain ng mga matatamis. Well, ang diabetes ay halos na po siya, no? Parang nakita nila na may kasamang katabaan o overweight or obesity at kailangan natin talagang bigyan ng pansin ito. Nakita nila na 10.5% ng mga world's population suffer from diabetes in 2021. At sa mga lalaki, it's one of the most common type of diabetes ay yung type 2 diabetes. Ang type 1, ito yung walang-walang insulin. Ang type 2, ito dahil sa dami mong kinakain na sugars, kinakain ng mga matatamis na kinukulang po yung insulin o yung hormone na nagpapapasok po niyan. Okay? Tandaan, isipin mo para siyang MRT train station or MRT train. Ang mga sugars mo ay para mga pasahero. Ang mga MRT trains ay yung insulin kasi transporter yan eh. No? So, ang carbohydrates o yung sugars mo, kailangan yan para lumaban sa ating siguro sa COVID o syempre sa physical health din natin. So, paano ba yung role din yan? Kung kumain ka ng maraming sugars, syempre, kung rush hour mamaya, magpa-flood talaga ng maraming tao. Crowded ang area ng MRT train ng Taft. Papunta sila ng North EDSA. Alam mo naman, yung MRT trains, konting-konti lang yan. Hindi nagdadagdag. So, ganun din ang ating katawan. Hindi rin nagdadagdag ng insulin. So, kailangan ng dahan-dahan lang po ang pagkain ng mga matatamis. Okay? So paano ba natin malalaman kung meron po bang simptomas tayo o meron na tayong type 2 diabetes? Ang alam natin ay through sugar, check natin ang sugar levels. Pero kung meron kayo nakikitang frequent urination, ihi ng ihi, laging nauuhaw, laging gutom, tapos may pagkalabo ng mata, there's soreness or merong yung mga sores o yung mga cuts, yung mga sugat, It heals slowly. Hindi katulad dati na parang ang bilis, 1 or 2 days, okay ka na. Ngayon, ang slow na. Baka isa na po rin yan na kailangan nyo magpa-check up at feeling tired and sleepy. Sa mga iba, kung na-diagnose sila ng type 2 diabetes o diabetes, wala na silang pakialam. Sasabihin nila, okay lang yan. Malakas pa naman ako eh. So, hindi na ako iinom ng gamot. Pero, dahan-dahan po niyang pinapatay po ang mga cells natin ng mga itong mga organs at part of our bodies. One is yung kidney. Dalawa po ang common cause ng kidney failure or chronic kidney disease. Type 2 diabetes at yung hypertension. Okay? So, wag naman sana tayong umabot na masira yung ating mga bato, no? So, isa po ay aayusin natin yung blood pressure at yung ating sugar. Next, pwede rin hindi gumanda yung ating wound healing. So, sa skin, sa ating paa, baka ma-amputate. Nagkakaroon ng tingling sensations of our nerves, no? And then baka mawalan din kayo ng ngipin because yung pagkapit ay isa nakakaapekto, blurring of the eyes, and isa na rin ay heart attack or yung mga CVD risk din natin. So please, no, sa mga alam niyo borderline na sinasabi ng diabetes, ito yung parang malapit na magka-type 2 diabetes, ay kailangan niyo na talagang mag-diet. So ano ba ang kailangan niyo gawin? May ginagawa tayong paraan, no, para lang hindi masyadong low or no rice at all. May tinatawag tayong low glycemic index diet. So papalitan din natin ang mga refined sugars, no, to something healthier. Kasi nakita na sa mga studies na it would improve your blood sugar levels, pwedeng makatulong sa weight loss kung masyado mataas ang timbang, nagko-control ng inyong appetite, and may reduce your cholesterol. So ano ba mga low glycemic index? No? So mga low glycemic index, hindi nagpapataas ang sugar nyo agad, ay itong mga vegetables na broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, bell pepper, no? Tapos kung gusto nyo mag-rolled oats, yun, subukan nyo po yan. Medyo malaki-laki lang po yan mga butil niya kaysa sa mga instant oats. Pero tingnan nyo yung high, na iiwasan nyo, ganyan, instant oats. No? Dahil powder na po yan, mabilis po kasi ma-absorb. Lalong-lalo na kung nasubukan nyo mag-champurado, ang bilis po talaga magutom. No? Nasubukan nyo na mag-champurado, no? Or mag-bread lang na may Spanish bread, within 2 hours, gutom na gutom agad kayo. No? Kung ganyan po yan, dahil isa na rin yan na nagpapataas ng sugar. Binabagsak niya agad ng mabilisan ng insulin. Nagre-react agad kasi siya. Kaya kakain ka ulit. Imbis na antayin mo yung lunch mo, hindi na, kakain ka ulit. No? So ito rin yung isang technique na ginagawa na nagda-diet. No? Imbis na kakain ng mga matatamis, mga puro powdered, iwasan nila yung nasa kanang bahagi. Kakain muna sila ng mga nasa left side. So yung brown rice, subukan nyo rin. Red rice, adlay rice, okay din po yan. Pero kung napansin na medyo tumataas, o medyo babawasan nyo rin ang pagkain na yan. Isa na rin na kailangan nyo tignan ng pansin is yung hunger cues nyo. Okay? Alam ko, nagjo-duty po kayo na minsan talagang hindi nyo maiwasan na late na kayo kakain. Pero if may chance talaga, tutok kayo sa inyong breakfast, lunch, and dinner schedules nyo. Kasi kung 2 hours nag-delay ang inyong pagkain, talagang kakain kayo ng napakarami. Baka mag-order ka pa ng dessert. No? Minsan parang nanggigigil ka pa na parang kulang yung 2 o 3 cups of rice mo. So, stick to your schedule. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner kung subukan mo. Kung hindi ka naman ma-breakfast na person, kahit pa paano yung brunch mo, nasusundan mo pa rin yan. And select yung high fiber, yung mga matataas ng fiber foods. So, try mo 30 grams per day. Mag-check nyo po yan sa mga nutrition facts. And focus on your food. Iwasan na mag-check lagi ng mga phones nyo. No? Iwasan siguro, lagi kayo nagti-TikTok, nagbabasa kayo ng mga ibang materials, kaya hindi kayo makakain na maayos. Isa na rin po, is number 6 na top health risk ay yung gout, arthritis o rayuma. No? Ano bang na-associate natin kung nagkakaroon tayo ng rayuma? Okay? Kinakain natin ay yung mga processed red meat. Tapos, kung tinamaan tayo ngayon, hiyang-hiya ka lumabas, baka kakantsawan ka ng mga kapwa mong kasama, o yan, papilay-pilay kasi ang daming kinain na dinuguan o laman loob. So, one is gout. No? So, ano ba ang gout? Nakita nila, ang gout ay nagpo-produce tayo ng mataas yung uric acid levels, no? At hindi makatanggal kasi kaya nag-iipon siya as crystals, at isa pong nag-iipon ay yung sa mga joints natin. Nangyayari po ito sa mga lalaking between 30 to 50 years old, o kung talagang malakas ka kumain ng mga pagkain na nagpapataas ng uric acid levels, yung mga purine diet, no, or high purine, baka 60 or 70 years old talagang pilay-pilay ka. Paano naman sa mga babae? Well, kung reproductive age group, hindi pa sila menopause, they are protective. Pero kung nag-reach na sila ng menopause, pwede rin silang i-atake. Okay? So, karamihan sa mga lalaki, pero pwede rin ang mga babae. No? So, ito yung mga risk factors ng gout. No? Katabaan, no? Meron din diabetes, kain ng mga high in animal proteins, talagang steak, unlimited. No? Tapos, sasabog pa ng kakain ng mga beans. Ito po, tandaan nyo, kung pinagsama nyo ang beans, pinagsama nyo ang karne, no? O tinawag nating beef with beans, perfect combination po yan. Talagang tatamaan talaga kayo. Okay? So wag nyo papagsamahin yung dalawa. At syempre, isa na pong gagawin nyo ay hinay-hinay din kayo sa pagkain ng karne. Okay? Ganun din sa alcohol. No? At kung may sakit din kayo, pwede rin mas lalong i-atake kung you're onto diuretics o yung pangpababanin ng fluids and your blood pressure. So ito yung mga simptomas ng mga rayuma, no? So merong biglang sakit ng mga joints nyo, and namamaga, no? Pulang-pula, tas hindi ka makagalaw, kikirot sa gabi, no? Tas may iba ay may mild fever. So alam naman natin ano yung iiwasan, no? So ito yung mga iiwasan nyo. Kung nakainom kayo ng marami, o hinay-hinay lang. Advice ko din sa may iba, okay? Huwag kayo mag-extreme dieting, huwag kayo magfa-fasting the next day kung meron ka nararamdaman na gout, kasi mas lalo po yung mag-aatake. Kailangan lang, babalik lang kayo sa tamang pagkain, iwas sa karne lang, pero kakain pa rin kayo ng grains at vegetables. Okay? So ano ba mga pagkain na pwede naman, no? Best eating habits. Pwede naman ang mga low-fat non-dairy products, certain fruits and vegetables, itlog, meat in moderation, pwedeng fish, pwedeng chicken, no? Tapos rice, bread and pasta, kahit pa paano napapabawas yan. Pero kung kakain kayo ng nuts na alam nyo na atake, iiwas tayo dyan. Pero kung nakikrave ka lang, at least a handful of it. Okay? At yung huli nating itatakal is yung erectile dysfunction. So siguro mga iba makaka-relate dito. So ano ba ang erectile dysfunction? It is the inability to achieve and sustain yung erection, no? O penis erection suitable for sexual intercourse. So nakita nila na 2/3 of men older than 70 and up to mga 39% of 40 years old of men have problems with this one. Siyempre nakakayayan po sa mga babae o sa mga inyong mga partners, no? Sa mga asawa. At hindi po ito sa mental or psychiatric lang po, no? Pwede rin siya isang warning sign ng cardiovascular or yung sakit sa puso. Tingnan natin sa mga statistics. 10% of men have erectile dysfunction, no? Per decade of life. Okay? Meron din po na 50% of men in their 50 years old na nagkakaroon na at mga nagsistart na po rin on 40 years old. Okay? And 25% of mga erectile dysfunction ay medication-related yan. Pwede because of the blood pressure medications, kaya hindi po maka-achieve ng erection. At isa na rin ay 64% of ED incidents are associated with heart attacks. Kaya kung may sakit kayo sa puso, alam niyo naman yung gamot na binibili, no, para lang magkaroon ng erectile erection, no. Kung alam niyo may sakit, ay iwas po kayo dun, baka maatake po yan sa kama, no. So hopefully you're not going to do that one without the consent, without the consult of a doctor, right? And paano ba natin gagawin para naturally, no, or in a lifestyle management para magkaroon tayo ng magandang sexual drive and also an intercourse? Well, isa pagkain. no? Meron tayong mga nitrates or nitrite-rich foods na makakatulong, no? Like the broccoli, celery, and lettuce. Bakit may nitrates? Kasi itong nitrates would increase the blood flow to the penis and may treat the physical side of the erectile dysfunction. Isa na rin ay yung quitting smoking kasi pwede rin po siya mag-lead to erectile dysfunction, yung inyong kataas ng timbang, no? So kung napapababa nyo rin po yan, pwede rin pong matulungan din kayo na bawasan din yung ganitong erectile dysfunction. At huwag nyo kakalimutan, please have your blood pressure check and your sugar levels. Kaya isa rin pong reason you are experiencing that. Now, what are ways to effectively improve our men's health? So, part ng inyong task, no, for this year is have physical activity. Kasi ang regular exercise strengthens your body, good also for your testosterone, and also for good for sexual intercourse, no? And that because of increasing of the testosterone. It may also help relieve the stress. Okay? Yung mga fit and active men may decrease the chances of heart disease, and it's advisable to include both the strength and cardio training to the routine. So paano po ba itong cardio? Ito yung mga running. Kung strength training yun nagbubuhat, okay? Pwede nang bubuhat kayo ng something, no? Na mga dumbbells, or pwede naman yung inyong sarili, body lifting, no? So pwede mga push-ups, no? Planking, and so on. So ano ba yung target natin, no? Kung nagsisimula lang kayo, okay? At siya mababa yung motivation nyo pa, parang kasi narinig ko kay Doc, narinig ko kasi sa ganitong mga advice, ang baba ng aking siguro sexual na drive, no? So isa na po ay paglalakad. Heavy household chores, isa na rin for at least 150 minutes in a week. So medyo mahaba o matagal, no? So break it down natin, 30 minutes 5 times in a week. Okay? So inyong paglalakad, no? Mabilisan, at least 20 minutes na naglalakad kayo na mabilis, okay po 'yan. Okay? So ang laking bagay po, okay, na walking. Okay? You don't need to go to the gym. Kung nag-enroll kayo sa gym, di okay lang, pero kailangan nyo talagang pumupunta kayo doon. Paano naman yung mga vigorous activity? Itong vigorous activity ay ang alam natin na nakakahingal. Jogging, running, no? Circuit training, kasama na rin dito ang Zumba, okay? Basketball, no? Tennis. Pero yung golf, baka moderate po yan, no? Kasi hindi masyadong hinihingan unless talagang nagra-run ka, no? Well, ang target ng vigorous ay 75 minutes in a week. So kung kaya mo mag-Zumba, may basketball, 30 minutes yung talagang hinihingal, will be okay. Okay? Ang problema sa vigorous activity ay bigla po kasing nagugutom kayo pagkatapos. Okay? Hindi katulad ng moderate na hindi masyado kayo nagugutom. Okay? So ang kailangan nyong gawin ay uminom kayo ng tubig bago gumalaw o bago kayo mag-exercise. Pwede rin kayo kumain ng konti, no? Pero kung heavy meal yan, hindi kayo makakapag-perform na maayos. Okay? So pili kayo kung anong oras kayo pwede mag-exercise, pwedeng umaga, pwede namang hapon, pero wag naman pong gabing-gabi, no? Kasi baka maapektuhan ng inyong tulog. Isa na rin po ay yung food portion control. Pwede naman kayo kumain ng mga cake, pwede naman kayo kumain ng mga siguro makatikim ng dinuguan, pero start cutting back naman, no? Kung dati nakaka-4 na beses kayo kumakain sa labas, bawasan mo. Kung nakaka-5 na milk tea kayo dahil lagi may nag-deliver sa inyo, bawasan mo, gawin mo 2. Kung nakaka-3 o mahigit 6 na beer in a day, bawasan mo, gawin mo muna 2 hanggang magkaroon ka ng control, no? At isa na rin is reduce the amount by placing smaller containers o gagamit din kayo ng mga maliliit na plato. Okay? Next, choose your food wisely. Okay? Iwas tayo sa deep fried. Pili kayo mga steam food, mga steam, pwede naman ng mga broiled, pwede ang grilled, pero wag lang naman po ang dark, no? Yung charcoal black na mapagkain, sunog na po yun. Kasi carcinogenic yan. So, iwas kayo sa mga dark or mga charcoal black na mga inihaw nyo. Okay? Huwag kayong mag-isip na, ay sayang to, pwede pa yan. Wag na po. Mas lalo makasama pa po yan. And consume the foods that are good in rightful portions. So, incorporate the fruits, the vegetables in your diet. So, sana damihan natin yung mga gulay. So paano ba natin i-guide? Kasi wala akong food delivery, wala akong nutritionist o ibang kailangan ko lang ng pangsimula. So ito, Ginamit natin healthy eating plate that's from Harvard. So sa inyong plato, half of your plate would be yung gulay, yung prutas nyo. Tapos 1/4 would be your grains. Pwedeng kanin, no? Pwedeng white rice kung gusto nyo man. Pero kung kaya nyo po mag-switch to to brown rice, pwedeng adlay rice, no? Pwede naman cauliflower rice, black rice, okay po yan. As in healthy proteins, pwede namang isda, pwede may itlog, and you have to limit yung processed foods na madalas na kinakain natin sa umaga. Tapos ito longganisa, no? Meatloaf, bacon, no? Yan iwasan din natin. Okay? Paano ba natin makakain ng maayos? Yan ang issue, no? Binigyan ka nga ng sinigang na maraming gulay, pero paglagay mo sa plato, wala na, kukunin mo na lang yung mga karne. O, itong gatong technique na gagawin nyo. Lagay mo muna, no? Kasi karamihan tayo naglalagay ng kanin una sa ating plato. Unahin nyo muna ang ulam, yung vegetables. Lagay nyo muna sa plato, no? Kasama yung karne. Okay? Tapos, lagay mo na yung inyong kanin. Okay? Kasi sa utak natin, nung bata pa tayo, ang una nating nilalagay ay kanin. Tama ba? No, yun yung ating thinking, di ba? So, lagay mo muna yung gulay at kasama yung protina. Paano man, Dok? Masyadong malaki. Minsan kasi kung malalaki, kung kumain kayo sa samgyupsal, tinatabi niyo yung gulay. Kasi laki, kakatamad. Mas madali kainin yung karne. So, ang gagawin niyo sa vegetables, papaliitin niyo siya. I-mince nyo yan. Pwede nyo i-chop. No? Tapos isasama nyo muna, ilalagay nyo muna sa inyong kutsara kasama ng protein o yung karne at saka yung kanin at i-chew nyo. Ngunguyain nyo for 20 to 30 times at kung for every 3 swallows, mag-sips ang water. Okay? Isa pa pong technique para mabawasan din ang inyong control sa pagkain ng kanin. Kung sumusobra, no? Inom muna kayong glass of water. Okay? So make it a habit na. Glass of water. Kung hindi kayang 1 glass, half glass. No? As a start lang. As a part of your healthy habit. Okay? So yan po ang isang technique na pwede nyong gawin po. Okay? Ngayon, sa tulog. Okay? Ang tulog ay pinaka-importante rin. No? Maski maibigay ko magandang diet, maibigay ko tamang exercise na plano, kung hindi nyo maayos ang inyong tulog, okay? Baka sa next day's activity, baka meron kayong trabaho, hindi kayo makakapag-perform ng maayos. Baka yung pagka-alerto mo, ngayon pala meron palang kailangan gawin, meron palang scene na kailangan ayusin, wala, parang ang tagal-tagal mo mag-respond. Hoy, tinatawag ka na ng boss mo. Wala pa rin, ang tagal-tagal mo kasi ang dami mong inatupag sigurong panonood. No? So sleep is your best investment for the next day. Kung hindi mo siya naayos, syempre, apektado inyong performance. Apektado ang physical health at mental health. Ramdam mo din na mainit ang ulo mo. No? So, you have to improve your sleep. Paano ba natin improve ang sleep mo? Ito yung mga usually na binibigay kong techniques sa mga call center agents at saka sa mga night shift na sa mga companies. So, unahin, no? Ayusin mo yung sleep and waking schedules mo. Kung 10 p.m. natutulog until 6 a.m. subukan mo. Ngayon kung nagpalit ka ng shift, well, aagahan mo lang. No? Tapos, ang importante is your waking schedule. Kailangan waking schedule ang yung inaatupag mo. So, gagamit ka ng alarm. Maski hindi mo ma-hit yung 6 to 8 hours, at least yung waking schedule na ayos mo. Then you could take some naps in the afternoon o may mga breaks ka, 5 to 30 minutes. Next is get regular physical activity in the morning. Magpa-araw din kayo. May studies din na papatulong yan sa inyong pagtulog din. Try to control your caffeine, yung coffee, your tea, your milk tea, okay? At your energy drinks, 4 to 6 hours before your sleep. Kung tulog mo ay 10 p.m., 4 p.m. would be your last intake. Okay? Paano naman ang mga cellphones? Kasi nagawa mo na ito siguro lahat, no? Wala, may effect naman. Pero because of the pandemic, ang ating way to unwind, to cope with the stress, is manonood na lang tayo sa YouTube, sa ating mga social media, sa TikTok, no? Netflix. No? So, ang gagawin nyo dito para lang mabawasan din ang inyong eye strain at makatulog rin kayo ng tama is reduce the brightness of your phones. Kung may kayong mga phones, di ba, may brightness level, bawasan mo. And then, i-darken mo yung mga background kung may kang binabasa. And isa na rin is turn on dark mode or night mode para makatulog kayo. Okay? Tatandaan, no? If meron kayong mga kailangan na nakita, napansin na ay medyo mataas yung blood pressure ko. Ay, teka, parang ganito na ata nararamdaman ko. Magpa-check up po kayo. Meron kayong mga doctors po dyan, and you could just have your self-check. And then, don't be afraid to say na ano mga kailangan, ano mga risk, bakit natatakot ka. No? So, just they would tell you what to do. Okay? And if you could do the 6 steps, no, for you to have a healthy life, eating smarter, moving more, you could sleep soundly, you could manage your stress, have good social connections with your colleagues, hindi lang sa mga family or friends, sa colleagues nyo, kasi sila rin tutulong sa inyo, and avoiding the risky substances, then definitely it would improve your health, physically, mentally, emotionally. Bumababa ang absenteeism, baka mabawasan na yung mga Monday sickness natin. Increasing engagement, focus, energy, lalo na sa inyo, kailangan nyo laging maging alerto, no? At fewer accidents at higher productivity. And that will your guide to a healthy life and a healthy workplace. So thank you so much. We could already entertain questions po. So I give the floor back to Dr. Aika.
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Jan. That was a very inspiring lecture, no? So we all learned a lot, I'm sure. Ako din na madami akong natutunan. With that, let's entertain some questions. So kung may mga questions po tayo, just type it on the chat box. And Dr. Jan will answer the questions typed in the chat box as long as we have time pa. No? So medyo limited tayo with that. Anyway, I want to start with the question lang, Doc Jan, while nag-iisip sila ng questions. What can they do at home or in the office ng mga physical activity? Diba? Hindi lang exercise kasi ang physical activity. Especially for those who don't really have time. Yung mga medyo busy. Diba? Ang dami tayo na medyo busy tayo. So what can they do as a physical activity?
Well, that's a good point, no? Lalo na kung di tayo lumalabas. Isa po ay yung ating ginagawang household chores, paglilinis ng mga ating kotse, yung ating mga motor o collection for about 10 to 20 minutes. Okay na muna po yun na physical activity. Okay? Isa na rin po ay yung online exercise. Pwede nyo pong gayahin sa mga YouTube. At syempre, yung umuuso ngayon ay ina-upload nyo yung mga galaw nyo sa TikTok. And if you could reach like 30 minutes of dancing, ng mga trending songs doon, well, isa na po yan nagpapa-burn ng calories at nakakatulong din to control your blood pressure and your sugar levels. So yan yung mga ibang techniques na pwede nyong gawin. Isa na rin po yung paglalakad din po no sa gitna sa inyong mga subdivision, sa Camp Crame, no, mga ilang minuto lang, okay po 'yun, no. Pwede rin po ang paggamit ng smartwatch, no. Kung nakaka-reach kayo ng 6,000 to 10,000 steps, isang malaking tulong na po 'yan sa inyong pag-improve ng inyong kalusugan.
And tama yun. So, especially yung mga TikTok dance challenges, nakakapagod gawin yun kung magpa-practice ka na magpa-practice, diba? Plus, yeah, even gardening sa mga mahilig plantito-plantita dyan, yung mga mahilig mag-garden or mag-plant, you're burning already around 500 calories per hour. So, imagine, diba? You're having fun, diba, Doc Jan? Plus, you're burning a lot of calories as well. So, anyway, there's another question here, Doc Jan. It says here, pwede po bang equal or Splenda as substitute for table sugar? This is from Ryan Advincola.
That's a good question, Aika. And it's also that's somehow na parang it's medyo, it has to be titigan yung diet profile ng isang tao. Kasi there are times na ang isang tao, mahilig po yan sa sugar, no? Araw-araw naglalagay ng table sugar, pwede po maglagay ng ganitong artificial sweeteners. Okay? Para lang, or let's say the stevia, which is a natural sweetener, para lang po ma-suppress ang pagtaas ng sugar, no? Sa blood sugar levels natin, hindi masyadong tumaas, at makontrol lang natin. No? Pero, ang isang hindi magandang effect lang kung naging long-term usage tayo ng mga ganitong mga artificial sweeteners, maghahanap na tayo ng mga matatamis na mga pagkain. Maghahanap na tayo ng mga cookies, kakanin, no? Pwedeng cake, no? Tapos, hindi na natin mapigilan. Baka yun po isang reason na mataas ang inyong sugar. Bigyan ko po kayong halimbawa. Kasi Ang mga artificial sweeteners ay 300 times sweeter than your table sugar. So, kung lagi mo kinakain po yan, baka tumataas yung sugar tolerance mo. Ano mangyayari? Mag-taste test kayo na kasama nyo dyan. Bili kayo ng cookie o cake. Kung siya hindi kumakain ng naglalagay ng artificial sweeteners, kayo naglalagay, pagtikim niya, naku, ang tamis-tamis na ito. Naku, ayoko to sa'yo na to. Ikaw naman, pagtikim mo, okay lang naman, sakto naman yung lasa sa akin, matamis, sakto yung tamis. Mag-isip-isip ka na dyan, no? Kasi baka too much na mataas na masyado yung sugar tolerance mo, pwede na rin po, hindi mo baka laging mataas na ang blood sugar levels mo. Okay? So, try to check then if you're taking artificial sweeteners like every day, tapos ganyan din yung habit mo, naghahanap na rin ng mga matatamis. Pero kung 1 or 2 times lang naman, pwede naman po yung artificial sweeteners. Preferably the natural one, which is the stevia.
Yes, that's right. Doc Jen, there's another question here from Reggie Andrada. Doc, good morning. What is best to do in order to regain or repair slow metabolism? So I think a lot of people can relate sa mga, having a slow metabolism.
Okay, that's a good question, Dr. Aika. Kasi ito yung mga naranasan natin yung during the pandemic or before the pandemic na nagda-diet, no? Ang karamihan kasi sa atin para mag-lose ng weight ay puro diet, puro no rice, no? Mga iba parang wala talagang kakain ng mga matatamis, no? Which is something good, no? Kasi we could jumpstart it. Pero after few months, okay, o baka weeks lang, bumabagal po ang ating metabolism. Kasi ang ramdam ng ating utak, masyado mong binagsak ang inyong calories. So, bababa niya din yung pag-burn, no, ng metabolism mo. So, if you're into keto, into intermittent fasting na mababa ang calories mo, tapos napapansin mo na hindi gumagalaw ang timbang, no, baka that is already a way plateau. So, ano bang technique na para lang mapataas din natin yan? Is physical activity na naman, no? Pwede ka mag-cardio, pero karamihan nagre-resistance, nagbubuhat, nagbabody resistance para tumaas yung ating metabolism. Okay? So, just check lang po if there is like the cravings, tumataas yung appetite, kailangan mo lang uminom ng tubig before and even after the workout para that would be your to control the temptations or prevent the temptations of eating more.
Yes, minsan talaga mahirap na if you're tempted to eat something that you really like. Doc John, you mentioned about keto. So there's a question here from Ryan. I'm overweight and hypertensive. Pwede po ba ang keto or LCIF? So that's low carb intermittent fasting diet. I think a lot of people has this question too.
Yes, the ketogenic diet is a very low carb diet, less than 1/2 cup of rice in a day po yan, no? Kung yan yung ating basihan. Ang ketogenic diet ay hindi po recommended for weight loss sa aming medical literatures and our society. Ang ketogenic diet ay meron lang rekomenda sa mga may seizures na mga bata. At may medical supervision po yan. Ibig sabihin nito, kailangan may nutritionist at doktor para lang i-check po talaga ang inyong kinakain. May tamang carbohydrates, may tamang protina at yung taba. Kasi hindi natin pwedeng we are just going to go for a ketogenic diet na nakita nyo lang sa internet kasi nag-work sa isang artista, nag-work sa isang influencer sa TikTok ay gagayahin mo na baka mas lalo makasama. Lalo na kung hypertensive po yun. Just to share, one of my friends of my patients na nag-ketogenic diet ay inatake sa puso. Okay? Dahil sobrang ginagawa niya ay kumakain ng mga matataba, puro mga prito, tas walang rice. So, shoot up talaga ang cholesterol at naraman nila, inatake na pala siya sa puso at between 30 to 40 years old lang po siya. So, be very careful lang po, no, sa mga nagki-ketogenic diet na lalo na kung self-guided. No? So, you have to ask help sa mga doctors nyo. I-check nyo talaga anong right nutrient and grams of your carbs, proteins, and your fat para tuloy-tuloy din ang inyong pagbaba ng timbang at hindi na rin po ibabagsak para prevent din natin yung drop of your metabolism.
Yeah, I totally agree, Doc Jan. So when we talk about diet, everybody, it's not a one-size-fits-all. So mag-ingat po tayo sa mga fad diets. plus a diet that you're in supposed to be makes you healthy, not to make you sick, not the other way around, diba? So pag nagda-diet, dapat healthy, hindi nagkakasakit tayo as a complication. But anyway, as a last question, Doc Jan, related naman sa men's health, there's a question here is, Doc, ask ko lang kung effective din ang pagkain ng bawang or garlic para sa prevention ng prostate cancer. That is from Sir Lim.
Yes, dun sa magandang tanong din po 'yan, no. Pero dun sa mga studies po, wala talagang mga specific foods na magpe-prevent at even magti-treat ng mga ganitong condition, lalo na ang prostate cancer. Pero generally, ang recommendation po ng aming mga societies, kasama na rin yung mga cancer society, is that you have to eat yung mga ganito, may bawang, less of the processed, more of the gulay, iwas sa mga processed foods, may tamang physical activity, at wala rin po mga substance abuses para to help you with preventing these kinds of cases. And I mean these kinds of conditions.
Yes, that's right. So thank you so much, Doc John Dipasupil, for your time, for sharing your knowledge. Although we are lacking time right now for the Q&A, but ang dami actually mga tanong ngayon sa chat box. But anyway, thank you so much, Doc Jan. And I'm sure everybody learned how to take charge and take control of their health starting today. So with that, let's move on to the last topic this morning. Now, I think ito yung pinaka hinihintay na topic kasi madaming nakaka-relate, tama ba? So let me ask you, raise your hand if meron kayong sakit ngayon sa likod, masakit ang likod nyo, masakit yung batok, masakit yung nape, lahat na masakit, lahat ng muscles. Meron po ba? Ang dami, masakit ang likod. So on the chat box, let's rate your pain from a scale of 1 to 10, 10 pinakamataas at 1 yung pinakamababa. Gaano kasakit ang likod natin? 10 po ba? Or 9, 8, 7. So may nakasagot ng 3, 4, 5, 6, 0. So sana all 0 ang pain nila. So with that, of course, the last but not the least topic today is on the common musculoskeletal disorders to be discussed by Dr. Christopher Constantino. So maybe just request the host to allow Dr. Christopher to share his slides. Now, while doing that, let me just introduce him just for a brief introduction. Dr. Constantino earned his medical degree from the UP College of Medicine in 2013. He took up residency in rehabilitation medicine in the Philippine General Hospital, or PGH. During his training, he found his passion in research, and at the end of his residency program, he immediately got accepted to a 1-year postdoctoral fellowship in research and motion analysis at the Joint Department of Orthopedic and Rehabilitation Engineering Center in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Currently, he is back in his alma mater, where he happily serves as an educator to those who wish to be a doctor someday like us. Okay, so let's all welcome Dr. Christopher Constantino. Good morning, Dr. Christopher. Okay, so Doc Christopher, are you here? Maybe our host can allow Doc Christopher to mute himself and to share his slides. Okay, here we go. So I can see you, Doc.
Right. Finally, can I unmute? Okay, thank you, Dr. Aika. No? Good morning, everyone. No? So as mentioned nga, no, father ko is a retired PNP officer, no? Siya yung dating chief of anesthesia dati, si Colonel Lito Constantino. Tinitingnan ko actually in chat kung may nare-recognize pa akong mga names, pero parang wala na, no? Yung dating parang best friend niyo dyan, si Dr. Altarejos, no? So, yun. So bata pa lang ako, laking Crame na ako kasi pag may mga operation siya, minsan pag inaabot ng buong gabi, minsan dyan ako natutulog sa mga dorm areas ba yon ng mga friends niya. Yeah, so let me share my slides, no? So ayan, nakikita niyo po ba yung slides ko ngayon? Yung intro slide.
Yes, Doc, we can see it.
Right. Thank you. Sige. So yeah, let's start. So today, no, I'll be discussing common musculoskeletal disorders among personnel in uniform, no? So I'll try to make this lecture quick, no? Para mas na-mention nga sa akin nung tech run para maraming time para sa mga questions, no? Okay, so before everything, syempre just a few disclaimers, no? And then so yeah, so ano, on a normal day, no? Kung kunyari sabihin mo sa akin mag-lecture ako about common musculoskeletal disorders, no? Dinidivide pa namin yan into 3, no? Upper extremity, lower extremity, back, no? Tapos usually 2 hours per area, no? So definitely hindi ko madidiscuss lahat ng possible, and at least sa title, no, common sa police force, no? Tapos so syempre I did some research, no, to streamline this discussion and choose, no, yung mga conditions na ano na common sa police force, no? So nag-automatic siya. Ayan. So kung meron kayong conditions na hindi ko nabanggit, no, feel free to ask later during the Q&A. All right? Ayan. Okay. So, yeah, I wanted to report specifically sana, no, sa conditions that affect the Philippine National Police. Kasi most common is relative, no? So, which you will see later, no? Iba-ibang bansa, iba-iba yung most common. However, no, when I searched sa PubMed yung common na pinagkukunan ko ng information, actually 20 results lang. Tapos dun sa 20 results, wala actually Philippine National Police, basta Philippine lang. So in other words, wala tayong data, no, sa Philippine National Police. So I broadened my search, no. So in-include ko na lang lahat ng police notes, lahat ng common musculoskeletal disorders. I came up with 991 results. So syempre in-screen ko pa further. So this is what I found, no. So in Canada, actually, no, the Canadian Police Service, no, this research na showed that injuries are most common, no, among those police personnel who are in uniform, no. So as you can see, no, in males, no, among the participants, no, of course, mas marami yung males, no, and among the males, 64.6% na were injured doon sa mga naka-uniform. Among females, 41.7%, and then the most common injuries were sprains of the lower extremity, no, yung mga natatapilok siguro, no, mga na-injure yung ligaments sa knees, no, yun yung most common din. Okay, next is in India, which is very interesting kasi ang most common problem nila was morbidity, which actually kaya maganda na nagkaroon tayo ng lectures, the 2 other lectures this morning, because musculoskeletal conditions are not the only problems police force can be afflicted with. So, sabi kasi morbidity, ibig sabihin ng ibang sakit. So, kunyari, nagpatingin ka sa akin, meron kang fracture, sabihin ko, do you have any comorbids? Ibig sabihin lang nun may iba ka bang sakit like high blood, diabetes, kumagay mga lifestyle diseases na lifelong na natin ginagamot. So sa India, yun, ang pinakamaraming sakit among their police force are those na may ganun, mga high blood, diabetes, ganyan. Okay? And then sa Italy naman, no, sinasabi dito na yun, ang prevalence ng musculoskeletal diseases malaki, no? So tas in-identify pa nila sa research na ginawa nila ano yung mga usual causes, no? Sabi nila awkward posture, no, jolt, vibrations, no, and stress, okay? So cervical-brachial pain, yung mga upper back pain, low back pain, which I guess very common not only in the police force but almost everywhere, and sciatica. So basically sciatica is a condition where nga nagkakaroon kayo pa nga parang nakakairita na feeling, mga manhead or minsan weakness sa lower extremity na dulot dun sa compression ng ng nerves. Okay? So sabi nga nila, no, so low back pain is associated with tasks, no, na nag-expose sa awkward posture of the spine, no. Usually daw yung mga traffic policemen, yung mga nag-direct ng traffic, syempre during those times we can't really take care of our posture, no. And then upper extremity cervical, no, dito sa leeg, ibig sabihin, no, are related to exposure to vibrations, no. Usually mga police daw na nagmomotor, syempre grabe yung vibrations noon. And imagine if you do that every day, no? And then meron din daw na decrease in time periods, no, which in which an awkward position is held, no. Kunyari may mga break during duty, no, prescription of ergonomic shoes. Ibig sabihin, pag minodify, no, yung mga bagay na na-identify nila na nagko-cause ng problems, no, nakakabuti, no, sa mga musculoskeletal disorders. Okay, and then sa Iran, no, back disabilities daw ang most common sa kanila. Okay? Pero yun, ang interesting din sa research na ginawa nila, tinratify nila. So in-identify nila yung mga younger population, no, mas elderly population. Sabi nila, back disabilities were more common in the older population among the police force. Tapos on the contrary daw, no, sa mga commissioned officers, no, third lieutenant to colonel, no, yung mga mas bata siguro yan, no, fractures and dislocations yung mga more common siguro dahil sa mga enkwentro nila due to their nature of work. Okay? And then South Korea, no? Ito hindi masyadong specific itong study na nakita ko kasi pinakita lang nila kung ano yung most common x-rays na ginawa. Siguro dahil sa data privacy rules sa bansa nila or something. So sinasabi lang dito na karamihan ng consults dahil sa lower extremity x-ray. So I'm assuming, no, assumption lang to, it could have been, no, sprains or fractures, dislocations involved in lower extremities, no, from the hip down. So that's just my assumption based on this study. Okay, and last country I'd like to present sa Sweden naman, no. So sinasabi dito, no, so multi-site musculoskeletal pain. Sabi multiple areas in the body, no. At least 1 day per week, no, with so ang sinasabi lang dito, it was related to ano, no, yung pagsuot ng mga equipment, no, sa pagiging police, no. For example, you need to wear a duty belt or a body armor, no. And then ang sinabi nila kunyari yung nature of work mo as a policeman, yung mga usually nasa car, yung mga nagpapatrol, hindi daw masyadong associated sa multi-site musculoskeletal pain. Siguro isang site lang like low back pain probably, no, for prolonged sitting. Okay, so these are the notable countries na nakita ko, and I think it represents almost the whole continent na rin. Okay? So the most common musculoskeletal disorders that we have seen, no, dito sa mga nakita kong researches, no. So lower extremity sprains or strains, no, mga sabi ko nga natatapilok or probably mga ACL injuries, no. Cervicobrachial pain. So cervicobrachial, no, neck to the arms, no. Usually kasi connected naman yan, no? If you have upper back pain, neck pain, usually may affectations na rin yan sa upper extremities natin. And then low back pain or sciatica, no, was another thing. And of course fractures or dislocations, which hindi na rin nila disclose yung specifics, but sinabi nila it's common nga dun sa study sa Iran. Okay? So moving on, I'll just discuss, no, yung mga disorders na nakita ko dun sa search ko kasi nga yun yung common sa kanila. So another disclaimer, there are several musculoskeletal disorders, pero itong lecture na to yung mga nakita ko lang para yun nga mas marami tayong time for question and answer. So let's start with the knee. No, kasi yun nga, wala naman ako nakita sa hips, no, or sa groin dun sa studies. It's more for athletes. So sa police force, no, may mga nabasa ako usually sa knee nangyayari, no. So I just want to show you first, ito ang itsura ng tuhod pag tinanggal mo na yung balat, tinanggal mo na yung muscles, no, yung mga taba, no. So gusto ko ipakita sa inyo dito, napakaraming structures ng knee. No? So hindi lang ACL kasi I think most common na alam niyo na-injure ACL kasi nga yung mga athletes, no, pagka na-injure usually ACL. So napakarami actually na structures na pwedeng ma-injure sa tuhod natin. And I think I came across one study, I think sa military pa nga ito, hindi sa police, no, military sa US. One of the most common causes of injuries sa tuhod, yung mga recreational activities. Kasi syempre hindi naman pwedeng yun nga, duty lang tayo, trabaho lang tayo. I know for a fact na yun nga, yung police force or any other uniform personnel, sometimes meron tayong mga sports fest, no. So we are allowed, no, to engage in leisure activities like for example basketball, no. So sometimes yun ang nagko-cause nung injury sa mga members natin sa police force, no. So just like I've mentioned, no, one of the most common injuries for the lower extremity in general or in the knee is an ACL injury. So an ACL is actually a structure, no, gaya dito sa slide, no, yung anterior cruciate ligament. Kaya sila tinawag na cruciate ligament, kung makikita niyo sa picture dito, no, pag ganun sila, no, merong ACL, merong PCL. Sinabi mong ACL anterior, yun yung nasa harap, PCL posterior. So may ACL, PCL, ganyan sila, kaya sila tinawag na cruciate kasi para silang cross. So basically, what the ACL does to our body is it pine-prevent niya yung kunyari ito yung natin, no, yung hita natin, ito yung binte, no. Pine-prevent niya yung pagganon ng binte, no. So basically, nag-a-add siya ng stability sa tuhod natin. So kung sira yung ACL mo, no, tapos nagpa-check up ka sa akin, may gagawin akong test to confirm, kakayanin kong ganituhin yung binti mo over your your thigh, no? Pero kung intact yung ACL mo, hindi ko yan magagawa. So that's the function of the ACL. Okay? So the common causes of ACL injury, no, sudden deceleration, no, with strong quadriceps contraction. Yung quadriceps yung group of muscles sa harap ng binti natin, no. So yun nga, kasi syempre pag sudden deceleration, ang laki ng force na ina-absorb ng katawan natin. Tapos yung tuhod, isa yon sa mga nag-absorb ng forces kapag nangyayari ito. So yun nga, yung mga sudden deceleration, di ba, pag basketball, tatakbo ka, tapos bigla kang magbabantay or magpo-pull up ka na for a jump shot, step back, ganun. No? So kaya common siya sa mga athletes. No? So valgus deceleration to a flexed externally rotated knee. So basically, some highfalutin terms. Ibig sabihin lang, no, pagka kunyari, medyo naka-bend yung tuhod mo, medyo nakaikot ng konti, tapos may force, kunyari, na natabig ka or tamaan ng kalaban mo or kakampi mo, yun, nagkakause yun ng injury. No? Kasi yung position na yan, tsaka yung force na yun, doon pinaka-weak ang ACL natin. Okay, hyperextension, yung sobrang dumiretso yung tuhod. Kasi dahil sa force na ganun, pwedeng mapunit yung ACL. Hyperflexion, pwede rin. So basically, any excessive motion sa tuhod natin. Okay? So ano treatment dyan? So natural history, so pag narinig niyo yung term na natural history in medical terms, ang ibig sabihin lang nun, anong mangyayari sa sakit pag hindi siya ginamot? So ayan, so pag hindi mo siya ginamot, hindi siya gagaling, hindi siya magre-regenerate, no, on its own. So initial treatment, this goes for mostly all, no, of acute, no. Acute ibig sabihin yung mga nangyari right then and there na injuries. We use the mnemonic called PRICE, which is stands for protect, rest, ice, compress, elevate. So siguro kung nakita nyo nga sa TV, no, pag yung mga athletes na injured, di ba, makita nyo, ginagawa nilang lahat para hindi magalaw yung joint. Kunyari, natapilok. Gusto nila pag iangat yung paa, minimal lang yung movement sa paa. No? Tapos syempre, protect. Lalagay na nila sa stretcher yung athlete, lalagyan nila ng harang. No? Minsan, lagyan nila ng brace kaagad yung area. No? And then of course, rest. No? Syempre, kunyari si Kevin Durant, no? Nung nagkaroon siya ng torn Achilles, or si Kobe Bryant, di ba, isang taon silang hindi naglaro. And then ice, no? For the first 3 days. So ito siguro something na pwede nyong ma-take home, no? So general lang to, no? Siyempre may mga exceptions. Kunyari natapilok ka or nalaglag ka during a game or any na injury na na-sustain nyo within the first 3 days, ang gagawin nyo po, lalagyan nyo ng ice. Okay? Within the first 3 days. Kasi yung principle nun, gusto natin pigilan yung pag-accumulate ng mga inflammatory chemicals, no? Yung mga bagay na nagpapamaga, no, sa mga areas natin pag na-injure tayo. So kaya tayo naglalagay ng ice for the first 3 days. Kasi mga chemicals na yun dumadaloy through the blood. No? So pag nilagay natin ng ice, no, hopefully, no, nagkakaroon ng vasoconstriction, lumiliit yung mga blood vessels. So lumiliit yung daloy ng blood doon. So lumiliit yung build-up ng mga inflammatory chemicals, no, dun sa area kung saan na-injure. And then after 3 days, nag-shift na tayo sa warm. No? Kasi ang gusto naman natin, no? Kasi 100% hindi natin mapipigilan yung inflammatory chemicals na nag-accumulate doon. So after 3 days, gusto naman natin palakihin yung blood vessels by applying warm compress para ma-wash out naman. So yun yung principle. No? So ice is just for the first 3 days. No? Immediately, no? Kung kailan nangyari injury, ice kagad yan. Usually, no? Siyempre may mga exceptions. And then, syempre, compress, no? Pero relative to, minsan rest, protection, and ice and elevation are enough. So, makikita natin, di ba, nilalagyan ng mga bandaging, no? So, that's part of the compress component of PRICE. Okay, and syempre, elevate, no? Kasi gusto nga natin, mapigilan yung blood flow. So, pag in-elevate natin, may hirapan din yung blood na dumating dun sa area. And then, dun sa time na nagre-recover na tayo, by elevating, no? Tinutulungan natin bumalik sa heart yung blood. So, na-wash out yung mga inflammatory chemicals. Okay? So, so yung definitive treatment, no, depende sa degree ng tear ng ACL mo. Minsan tsaka sa age, no? So yung degree ng tear, yung age, tsaka yung goals ng patient. So kunyari, middle-aged person, no, na tear yung ACL, no, hindi sa sports, basta nagkamali lang ng galaw, na twist yung knee, tapos partial tear lang. Minsan hindi na siya kailangan operahan, no? Lalo na kung hindi naman nag-expect ng active lifestyle itong taong ito. No? Rehabilitation will be enough, no? But in most cases, no, kasi sabi ko nga, usually athletes, no, ang nakaka-tear ng ACL. Definitely kailangan ng operasyon yan because as an athlete, no, kunyari kayo, police personnel, pero member ka ng varsity ng police league nyo, kunyari sa basketball, malamang kakailanganin nyo po ng reconstruction or surgery sa ACL ninyo kasi rehab alone will not be able to strengthen the ACL post-tear. No? So kailangan operahan yan, lalagyan po ng tahiyan para mas malakas. Para pag gumaling na kayo, mas malaki yung chance na makabalik kayo sa sport ninyo. Okay? And of course, pre- and post-operative rehabilitation is important. No? So even before the operation, maganda kung natitreat na yung pasyente. No? Hindi lang after the operation. No? Kasi syempre, after operation, humihina yung mga muscles natin. No? So maganda, even before the operation, meron kaming specific ways palakasin yung muscle without aggravating the area that was injured. No? Para pag humina yung muscle from the operation, mas mataas yung pinanggalingan niya, no? Kaysa yung hindi mo siya na-rehabilitate before the operation. Alright? So basically, marami akong nasabi dito sa part na to na what will apply, no, to the other conditions. Okay? So next, going down, no? So mula sa tuhod pababa tayo, no? So sa leg injuries, no, common dito yung tinatawag na shin splint, no? Well, kung makikita niyo dito, ang shin splint, pwedeng dalawa yan, no? Yung medial tibial stress syndrome or pwedeng tibial stress fracture. No? Minsan nagkakaroon tayo ng mga fractures na maliliit na dahil sa stress, no? Yung constant na impact sa legs natin. No? So kaya ako nabanggit to, no? Naalala ko nung bata ako, kinikwento sa akin ng father ko nga, no? Nung recruit pa lang siya, kinikwento niya saan, sobrang layo daw ng gina-jogging nila. I think from Quezon City Circle yata, papuntang Crame, pabalik. Hindi ko alam kung, kung exaggeration lang yun or kung totoo. No? So anyway, yung mga activities kasi na yun, it's one example that could cause these types of injuries. Kasi itong mga injuries na to, mga overload syndromes to eh. Na kumbaga, nangyayari itong mga injuries na to pag sobra-sobra yung exertion sa isang body part. No? Sige, so and other factors, no? Inappropriate footwear. So sabihin natin, okay ka naman, no? Healthy ka naman, pero kung hindi proper yung ginagamit mong equipment or footwear para sa long distance running, you'll be at risk for injuries, no? Syempre, yung surface will also matter, no? And then weak muscles, no? So important talaga, no, yung ginagawa sa inyo, no, na physical assessment, no? Kasi our whole body is one biomechanical unit, no? So minsan, no, one weak muscle group can really affect the entire body and predict you for injuries. Okay? So ang treatment, no, dito basically ang mainstay ng treatment dito sa shin splints is rest, no? Kailangan mo magpahinga muna, no, para gumaling. Kasi hindi siya inooperahan or anything, no? So wala talaga tayong choice kundi magpahinga muna para mag-recover yung katawan natin. And then syempre all pain-inducing activities should be avoided or modified by decreasing duration, distance, or intensity. So what I advise to my patients usually, find different activities, no, na para hindi ka mawala sa kondisyon, no, to keep fit. No? Kunyari, yung aggravating activity mo is jogging. So pwede mo siguro gawin, no, mag-high intensity core exercises ka kunyari. No? So if you strengthen your core, kasi maraming benefits yan, no, sa pagiging athlete or sa pagiging fit. And there are certain core exercises that would still give you an aerobic component sa exercise na ginagawa ninyo. Okay, so ice massage din, no? And then posting of insoles. So sabi ko nga, kung yung sapatos mo man hindi talaga equipped, pwede pa rin siyang i-modify. No? Kasi ang importante, you're using the correct footwear and equipment, no, for whatever activity you are doing. Okay? And then eventually, no, gradual ang return to sport or return to activity nung person who suffered this kind of injury. Okay? Then ito, of course, no, this is one of the most common, no, not only actually this is the most common sprain, no, yung ankle sprain or natapilok, no. Siguro nangyari na to sa most of who are listening right now. Okay? So sa sports alone, no, it's responsible for 40% of all sports-related activities. So lateral sprain, yung tapilok na ganun, yung sa gilid ng paa natin, yun yung common. Pwede kasi matapilok ng pabaliktad pero rare yun. No? And then, so ankle injury rehabilitation, no? Depende yan actually, no? Kung mild lang yung sprain, pwede yan. After 14 days, balik ka na sa training. Pero as you can see here, sa next slide, there are actually several gradings sa sprain, no? Pag grade 3, yun, complete tear na yun actually, no? So I remember no, nung nag-basketball ako, pumunta ako sa office ni Dr. Altarejos dyan sa Camp Crame kasi orthopedic surgeon siya eh. Tapos yun nga, binigyan niya ako ng ointment para makatulong mag-recover. Kasi I think yung time na yun, basketball din yun, nag-layup ako tapos natapilok ako. So I incurred yata grade 2 no, sprain kasi nagkaroon ng pasa-pasa yung paa ko. Ibig sabihin nun, may bleeding sa loob dahil nga napunit yung ligament. Okay? So treatment nga, sabi ko nga, no, depends. No? So kung grade 1 lang siguro, some cases grade 2, no? Pwedeng rest lang. And of course, rehabilitation. May mga certain exercises tayo no, na ginagawa para maibalik yung strength. No? However, kung talagang severe yung tear, minsan kailangan operahan. Okay? Pero keep in mind, no, regardless, no, kung anong treatment gagawin sa'yo, yung ankle ligaments mo will never be as strong as before. No? Kasi ang ligaments, hindi yan kagaya ng muscle na pwede nating palakasin. So just keep that in mind. No? Kasi actually, the greatest risk factor, risk factor, ano ba yung bagay na likely makakos niyan? Isa previous sprain. So sinasabi lang, no, kung na-sprain ka na dati, mataas yung chance masisprain ka ulit in the future. Tapos sabi ko nga, hindi napapalakas yung ligaments, pero kami sa rehab, what we do, no? Gumagawa kami ng mga exercises for people na na-sprain. Ang sinistrengthen namin yung mga muscles around the ankle joint. Kasi muscles can be strengthened no, at any age. So that's the way we make up for the damage doon sa ligament. Okay? And then next, ito I think baka common to kahit sa mga hindi ganun ka-active, no? But just people na who walk around a lot, stand a lot, no? Yung plantar fasciitis. No? So it's basically, ito nga, yung plantar aponeurosis. No? Kaya siya tinawag na fasciitis. No? Yan yung namamaga, yung fascia na yan. No? O kaya yung lateral aponeurosis. Mga fascia yan eh. Mga connective tissue yan sa paa. Hindi sila muscle, hindi sila tendon. Sa mga connective tissue yan sa loob ng paa natin. Ang usual nyo malaman kung plantar fasciitis na nararamdaman mo, yung unang apak ninyo sa umaga. Pagkagising nyo, yung unang apak nyo, pag yun yung pinakamasakit, most likely plantar fasciitis yan. Okay? And then common ito sa mga tao na may flat feet, o kaya sobrang high naman ng arch. No? Siyempre, pag magkaiba yung leg length, no? kung meron kang pre-existing condition, no? Excessive running, and as I've observed no, sa clinic namin, mostly pagpangit yung sapatos, usually pagka flats, no? Yung flats yung ginagamit. So, I'm not sure kung ano yung prescribed, of course, may uniform kayo, I'm not sure kung ano yung prescribed footwear no, ng mga police officers. No? But pwede naman ma-modify yun. Kunyari, ang prescribed siya yung leather shoes, tapos wala siyang medial arch support. May mga nabibili naman na support na pwedeng ipasok doon para maiwasan yung incidence ng plantar fasciitis. Kasi it can be bothersome, no? Lalo na pag matagal na. Okay? And ito, I just want to show you, no, kasi kunyari, nagkaroon ka ng plantar fasciitis, nagpa-x-ray ka, tapos nakita mo sa x-ray result, uy, meron akong heel spur. Ganun. So, just ano lang, no, a bit of knowledge, yung heel spur, hindi yan ang nagkukos ng pain. Yung plantar fascia pa rin. No? Sinasabi lang niya na most likely meron kang plantar fascia, pero hindi yan, kahit may spur ka dyan, hindi yan ang nagkukos ng pain. Ang nagkukos po, yung namamaga yung fascia ninyo. It's just something to keep in mind lang, just in case nagkaroon na kayo dati, nakita niyo ito. No? So, it's nothing to be worried about kung meron kayong heel spur. At hindi yan kailangan tanggalin. Kailangan is ma-rehabilitate yung plantar fascia. So ganito siya ginagawa, no? So we have specific exercises, no, yung mga toe curls, stretching, no? Tapos ina-advise ko rin yung patients namin, no, na bago matulog, no, pag nakahiga ka na sa kama ninyo, no, tapos bago matulog gagawin mo yung stretches saka yung toe curls. Tapos pagising ninyo, ganun din, no? Bago ka bumaba sa bed nyo, uulitin niyo yan, no? Kasi ang principle niya, no, syempre pag natutulog tayo, medyo kung inflamed yung plantar fascia ninyo, medyo mapupul niyo yung toes toward flexion. So syempre pag apak nyo, mabibigla sila. No? So yun yung nagkukos ng pain during the morning. So if you do these exercises no, as prescribed, mababawasan yung incidents and just continue doing them, no? Eventually mawawala. And of course, for patients na talagang masakit na masakit, nag-prescribe na rin kami ng mga NSAIDs or it's a type of pain relief medication. Okay? Sige. So next is yung back, no, dun sa mga problems na nakita ko with my research, no. So I want first to show everyone this slide, no. Kasi I want you all to appreciate how complex the back is. Okay? So makikita nyo, no, pag inoperahan mo yung likod, no, so likod, puwet, pababa, no, ang daming muscle sa loob, no, ang daming muscle sa paligid ng back. Tapos kung makita nyo dito, no, yung sciatic nerve, yung kulay yellow na ito, yan yung pinanggagalingan ng tinatawag na sciatica. Kaya siya tinawag na sciatica kasi problema siya sa sciatic nerve, which is the biggest nerve in our body. So yun yung nagkukos ng mga sintomas na sa likod ng legs natin usually. No? And then potential pain generators of the back. No? So ang dami. No? So hindi lang siya basta muscle pain. Minsan ang daming pwedeng mag-cause ng pain sa back. Tapos yung rightmost picture, yan ang picture ng mga nasa table. No? So, ang dami-daming structure sa back na pwede mag-cause ng pain. Kaya importante po talaga no, na pag merong low back pain, maganda magpa-check sa doctor kasi we have certain maneuvers to identify kung ano yung nagko-cause ng pain. And syempre, as with any treatment, matitreat lang po namin kayo pag na-identify natin kung ano nagko-cause ng pain. Tapos, kaya ko rin pinakita yung picture on the left, no, yung muscles, kasi mostly, yung principles ng treatment natin for back pain, no, whether it be the lower back or the upper back, no, strengthening the muscles around the back. Kasi if we strengthen the muscles around the back, gaganda yung pressure, no, dun sa mga bones, no, dun sa spinal cord. And usually, na-address natin yung problems caused by these other structures. Okay? And then this slide, gusto ko lang ipakita sa inyo, no, na at different positions, no, that we assume nag-iiba yung pressure sa back natin. No? So, ito yung importance kung bakit tayo nag-advocate ng mga proper back hygiene, no? Bakit tayo nagsasabi ng mga certain positions na dapat iwasan, no, during work or during recreation. Kasi, of course, if you put your back at increased pressures, no, for prolonged period of time, yun yung magkakause ng mga slip disc, other problems. No? So, I just want you all to keep this in mind, no, na may basehan tayo kung bakit po tayo nag-advocate ng mga proper back care, no? Proper posture, no? Mga dapat iwasan, no? Sige. So ito, no, this is this slide, no, shows yung sa left, no, yung proper back hygiene, no? So just shows, no, simple, no, very simple modifications on how we perform activities that will take care of our back. So isipin niyo, simple lang gawin. I mean, siguro kung sanay na kayo dun sa mga improper ways, baka hassle. Pero kung tutusin po, no, napakasimple lang sundin nito ng mga pinapagawa nila. And isipin nyo, just by doing this, no, and applying this to your day-to-day lives, naiwasan yung nagkakaroon kayo ng chronic low back pain. Iba pa nga, pag sobrang lala na talaga ng back pain, kailangan operahan yung spine, no, which is, syempre hindi maganda. Ang tagal pa ng recovery for that. Okay? And then as with, no, nabanggit na rin kanina sa mga lecture, no, exercise is really a form of medicine. Kasi nga, through several studies na, no, na ginawa, no, nakikita nila talaga na exercise really helps with low back pain, no. So it has been proven scientifically, no, through studies done several years, no, by different doctors, scientists, no. So talaga exercise can help, no, in treating your back pain, of course. In general, again, no, so lahat ng sinasabi ko in general, of course may mga exceptions tayo diyan. All right? And then last, no, dun sa mga napakita kong conditions, like fractures or dislocations, no. So of course, yung treatment will be dependent on the type of fracture or dislocation sustained, no. So napakaraming klase ng fractures and very unpredictable, no. Kasi lalo na kung sa enkwentro niyo nakuha, no, kunyari nabaril kayo sa braso and then na-fracture yung buto, no, so ibang klaseng fractures yan. So the treatment really depends on kung ano po yung na-sustain niyo. But yung gusto ko i-share sa inyo ngayon, yung mga general principles on fractures, no. So number one, the main principle, no, in fracture treatment is to reduce, no. Kung may access kayo sa medical records niyo, kung meron sa inyo na nagkaroon ng fracture na operahan, tinatawag yung open reduction internal fixation, no. So ibig sabihin, no, open reduction, no, so ni-reduce, kunyari na-fracture, napunta dito yung buto. Pag sinabing i-reduce, ibabalik mo dun sa original configuration niya, tapos lalagyan mo ng mga contraptions para ma-fix siya dun. Kasi ang inaabangan natin dito yung callus formation, yung nandito sa picture na pinakita ko, pointed by the red arrow, no? So ganyan mag-heal ang buto. So ilalapat mo lang sila, eventually over time may magbubuo na parang ang tawag diyan callus, no? Parang new bone formation. Kasi again, no, hindi siya parang sa butike or sa starfish na nagre-regenerate. So hindi ganoon, no? Our body heals in a different way, no? So ganyan mag-heal sa from a fracture. Okay, and again, no, gaya nga nung nasabi ko sa ACL injury, pre and post operative rehabilitation is important, no? So kahit na may fractured area, we know how to strengthen muscles kahit may fracture. Okay? And then just another tidbit, no? Smoking actually delays bone healing. No? So just something to keep in mind, no? Kung nag-sustain kayo ng fracture, ganyan, kung hindi kayo, well, maganda talaga hindi kayo mag-smoke in the first place, no? Pero kung kunyari smoker kayo, nakapag-sustain kayo ng fracture, matagal bago lumabas yung callus formation na yan. So whatever contraptions, whatever limitations, mas matagal yung may experience. Okay? So that basically wraps up yung mga common musculoskeletal disorders na gusto kong i-discuss ngayon kasi nga I wanted to spend more time answering your questions. Kasi nga, no? It's my final thought, no? So we actually need research on you, the Philippine National Police. Nakita nyo nga, di ba kanina may mga research sa mga police force sa iba't ibang bansa. Bakit tayo wala? Di ba? Kasi the best way for us, no, as doctors to serve and protect you, no, is to know ano ba yung problema ninyo, no? So hindi natin magagawa 'yun sa isang araw lang na ganito, no, na may Q&A tayo. Maganda meron tayong research, no? Malalaman natin, no, ano ba yung mga common problems ninyo? Kasi syempre kung alam natin yung common problems ninyo, baka pwede tayo eventually magkaroon ng mga preventive, no, rehabilitation programs, no? Pwede natin ma-enhance yung workforce ninyo, no? Pwedeng kunyari mag-renovate kayo ng Camp Crame, pwede nating isama kung ano yung mga bagay na pwedeng gawin para maiwasan yung mga common conditions po sa inyo. And I think, no, being a researcher as well, no, I think one of the ways really to help you, no, the police force of the Philippines, is to do research. And actually nakita nyo nga rin po, no, kahit iba-ibang bansa, iba-iba yung specific musculoskeletal conditions na nag-a-afflict sa kanila. So yeah, this is actually an open invitation if you'd like to collaborate, no. We can definitely do research para mas malaman natin, unang-una talaga, ano ba ang nagiging problema ng PNP in the first place? Ano yung pinaka-common? Pag nalaman natin yun, I'm sure marami tayo magagawa, no, para maiwasan, no, and magamot kayo ng mas maganda. Right? So with that, these are my additional references and thank you po. I'll now be open for questions.
And thank you so much, Dr. Christopher. That was very informative. I'm sure a lot of us learn no, paano alagaan ating likod, especially with posture pa lang. So it's a reminder to sit up straight, di ba? When we're sitting down. But anyway, Doc Christopher, there's a question here from Lieutenant Fajardo. Good morning, Doc. Ask ko lang kung anong gamot sa pagmamanhid ng kamay pag nagmomotor. So I think madami sa ating pulis na nagmomotor.
Yes, actually. So, yeah, so number one, no, kailangan natin alamin kung ano yung nagkukos ng pagmamanhid sa kamay. So, pag nalaman natin saan area sa kamay, tapos ano yung nature, no? Pero siguro, just for the sake of discussion, probably ang dalawang most common na pwedeng maging sakit nyo na nagkukos po ng pagmamanhid is probably carpal tunnel syndrome or cervical radiculopathy. So, carpal tunnel syndrome, I'm sure narinig nyo na po yan. Itong kamay po kasi natin, no, pag inoperahan nyo dito, may butas dito sa loob, diyan dumadaan yung median nerve. May nerve na dumadaan diyan. Tapos yung butas na dinadaanan niya, yun yung carpal tunnel. So kaya siya tinawag na carpal tunnel syndrome kasi sumisikip yung daanan niya, kaya siya namamaga. No? Tapos common yun, lalo na sa pagmumotor kasi ang nakaka-damage dun sa nerve, common movement na gumaganito yung kamay. No? So syempre kung nagmumotor po kayo, it's likely talaga na madadamage yung nerve na yun. Another condition, yung cervical radiculopathy, naiipit yung nerve kung saan siya lumalabas dun sa spine natin. No? So yun. So kung yun yung condition po ninyo, no, basically ang unang gamot dyan, no, depende kung gaano kasakit. No? Yun yung magsasabi sa amin kung anong klaseng pain reliever. No? So number one, syempre pain control. No? Kasi usually mga pain relievers na pine-prescribe po natin, meron din siyang anti-inflammation. Kasi maga siya kaya siya masakit. No? So yun yung initial goal natin, mabawasan yung sakit and yung pamamaga. Number two, syempre, rehabilitation. Meron tayong, kasi alam ko, yung father ko, na nasamahan ko na rin siya one time dyan sa Camp Crame. Meron naman tayong rehab gym dyan. No? So rehabilitation is the next thing. No? May mga machine equipment tayo sa PT na ginagamit specifically for mga conditions na ganyan. Namamanhid yung kamay, may mga tingling sensation, ganun. And then, of course, number three, most importantly, gagawa ka ng lifestyle changes nyo para maiwasan yung recurrence ng condition. Tapos may mga test tayong pwedeng gawin kasi yung pagkaipit na yun, gine-grade pa natin yung severity. pag medyo minalas tayo, very severe na, pwede siyang operahan, no? Pero hindi naman siya major operation. May hihiwain lang na konti para lumuwag yung daanan, no? Para ma-free up yung nerve. So basically yun, no? Ulitin ko, yung gamot sa ganyang kondisyon, unang-una, pain reliever, maganda yung ipe-prescribe ng doktor kasi yung mga malalakas na pain reliever, may mga side effects yan. Pwedeng magkaroon kayo ng stomach damage, kidney damage kung masobrahan kayo. So maganda, doctor prescribed pain medications, rehabilitation, and of course, lifestyle modification.
Yeah, totally agree. So makinig tayo sa mga doktor natin and huwag po tayo mag-self-medicate kasi baka magkaroon ng complications sa kidneys because you're drinking too much pain relievers. Kaya nga tinanong ko kanina, di ba, before we started, gaano kasakit ang likod using a pain scale. So that's how doctors would grade how much medications or what type of medication they'll give you. So anyway, Doc Christopher, there's a second question here from Officer Angono. Hi sir, ask ko lang kung may ACL and LCL reconstruction na po tayo sa health service. I guess yung available sa ating mga police officers.
Yes. So good afternoon. No? So ACL and LCL reconstruction, usually yung ACL yung nire-reconstruct kasi the LCL hindi naman siya masyadong gumagalaw. Nandun lang siya sa lateral side of the knee. So actually kung meron kayong orthopedic surgeon among your police force, like sabi ko nga, no, previously si Dr. Altarejos, kunyari, so he was an orthopedic surgeon. So definitely meron dapat. No? Kasi most orthopedic surgeons naman, kaya nilang gumawa ng ACL reconstruction. No? Tsaka depende nga po, no, kung dun sa severity ng tear. Minsan ang ginagawa graft lang, no, kumukuha ng laman dun sa hamstrings, no, yung sa likod ng tuhod nilalagay dun. Tinatahi, ganun. So actually depende po dun sa, hindi ko po masasagot kung meron tayo sa health service.
Excuse me, Doc. Yes. Ako na po ang sasagot, pwede po ba?
Pwede po, pwede.
Colonel DeLeon po from the PNP Health Service. Pa-check up lang po kayo sa ortho and kaya naman po yung reconstruction pero depende po sa sinabi ni as Dr. Constantino has mentioned, depende po yun sa extent ng inyong injury. Pero kaya po yan dito sa ortho. And Doc Constantino, pakikumusta po kami sa iyong father. Baka makalimutan ko mamaya.
Sure, of course.
Dito nakasama din po siya. Kasama yung chief nurse kanina pa. Pinapakita pa yung picture ng father mo noon. Ako, hindi mo
okay. Si Ma'am Lita ba yan? Or retired na rin yata siya.
Sige. So yun lang po. Kung meron po, magagaling naman po yung ating ortho surgeon, trained from Orthopedic Hospital and Viluna. So kaya po yun dito. Thank you.
That's great. So small world then, no? But anyway, at least we all know now that it's available for our police officers. So let's move on to the next question here. Doc Christopher, tanong po ni Sir Anthony, ano pong pwedeng gawin kung masakit ang talampakan at yung buong paa after prolonged standing? So syempre nakatayo palagi yung ating officers, no? So what can we do about this?
Okay, so number one nga po, no? So sabi ko is, number one na pwede nyo gawin agad is to review yung footwear ninyo, no? So sabi ko nga, kunyari, may uniform nga, no? Tapos, syempre, ang best talaga is rubber shoes or running shoes. Pero nga, kung dahil sa prescribed uniform, hindi po natin ito magagawa, no? Pwede tayo bumili ng mga insoles, no? So, tingnan nyo rin yung paa ninyo. Kung flat-footed kayo or high arching, no, may mga specific orthosis, no, may mga specific na inserts na nabibili, no, sa mall, sa Lazada, wherever, no, na para sa paa ninyo, no. Kung normal po yung paa ninyo, no, probably a standard medial arch support or cushion can help, no. And of course, trial and error ito, no. Different brands, no, different hanggang mahanap niyo yung best for your feet. And then next, no, is to do a regular exercise routine for your feet, no. Nabanggit ko nga, no, for plantar fasciitis, 'di ba, meron po akong pinapagawa sa mga patients po, no. Sabi ko nga, right before sleeping and upon waking up. So siguro po in your case, no, kung talagang if your work demands, no, prolonged standing, if you have certain breaks, kunyari lunch break, no, or kung may mga breaks dun sa shift ninyo, you can take time, no, para i-exercise yung feet ninyo. Simple lang naman ang exercises sa feet, usually toe curls lang yan, stretching and the movement of the ankle joint, no. So I think it wouldn't take up siguro parang 5-10 minutes lang yun, no? If you can incorporate that to your breaks nyo during the day, no? Tanggalin nyo sandali yung sapatos nyo, i-exercise nyo, no? And yun nga, whatever ails you in your foot, syempre pag na-diagnose natin yan, malalaman natin yung specific exercises that would help you. And then of course, no, yung pain, no, kung talagang severe yung pain, a short course of pain relievers will help, no? Para syempre mahirap of course mag-exercise ng isang body part kung masakit siya. So, yun po, yung tatlong pwede natin gawin, no? So, change of modification of footwear, tapos exercise, rehabilitate yung paa ninyo, and of course yung intake of pain relievers. Maganda kung ano nga po, no? Kung guided by a physician.
Yeah, that's correct. Doc Christopher, there's a question here. Pwede po bang alternative exercise sa mga may knee injury ang biking, swimming, or pool exercises just to avoid additional injury?
Yes, actually. We actually advocate that, no? Lalo na sa mga patients natin na medyo may edad na, or actually kahit hindi may edad na, basta very active during their youth, minsan it puts them at risk for degenerative osteoarthritis ng tuhod. Ibig sabihin, napupudpud na yung cartilage ng tuhod. So yeah, definitely ganun ang pinapagawa. Kunyari, jogger, ganun. Tapos talagang dahil sa constant jogging niya, talagang sumasakit yung tuhod. We can suggest alternatives like what you mentioned, biking, pool exercises, and ano pa yung isa nabanggit? Basta anything na nababawasan yung impact sa knees, but it would still strengthen the muscles around the knee. So yes, definitely, sagot sa tanong niyo, definitely, no? We don't want you to stop exercising, so we always find ways how to modify what you do for you to continue your wellness journey. So pwede po yun.
Especially, Doc Christopher, yung swimming, no? Kasi at least may buoyancy yung water.
Yes,
so parang function siya sa joints and sa muscles.
Yes, Doc. Actually, minsan pinapagawa nga namin, no, kung may access sa pool yung patient, minsan napag-jogging namin sila sa pool. Kung gusto talaga nila mag-jog. Kasi nga, because of the buoyancy nga po na nabanggit niyo, Doc, no, yung nababawasan yung impact sa knees.
Yes.
Aquatic rehab minsan yung tawag namin dyan.
That's good to know. Doc Christopher, there's a question here related din sa, I think, lifestyle kanina, no? Does it mean na overweight ang isang tao pag masakit daw ang paa when they wake up in the morning pag bumangon sila? Would that be an indication?
It's not necessarily an indication, but it's a risk factor, no? Actually, hindi lang sa paa, no? Lower back, no? Lower back, hips, knees, ankles, no? Ang function ng mga joints na yan sa katawan natin is kini-carry yung weight natin araw-araw. So of course, kung medyo nasa mataas tayong spectrum ng timbang, dinadagdagan natin yung load sa mga joints na yun every day. So mas likely na may injure yung mga joints na yun. Ngayon, dun sa nabanggit natin, nabanggit ko nga, kung plantar fasciitis po yung sakit ninyo, not necessarily due to weight. It could add to it, pero yun nga, ang most common talaga na nagko-cause nun, yung occupational factors. Yun nga, kung hindi maganda yung footwear ninyo, kung madalas kayo nakatayo, no, ganun. Not necessarily due to being overweight. Ang nabanggit ko nga na mas related sa pagiging overweight, mga arthritis, no. Kasi nga ang arthritis is pagkapudpod. So kung isipin niyo po, kung araw-araw ang binubuhat ng katawan natin mabigat, mas madali siya mapudpod. So yun yung mas related sa pagiging overweight.
Plus, doctor, we compute, diba, sa yung kung overweight ang isang pasyente using our BMI formula, plus of course yung waist circumference ng isang pasyente. So when talk about musculoskeletal management, it's a combination talaga of lifestyle management, plus of course yung yes. So maybe we'll take the last two questions. It's almost 12. There's a question here, Doc, for those who are aging. Doc, as I step up into my 40s, mas sumasakit ang likod ko, maybe part of age or injury while at the gym years back. What are the appropriate exercise, relief, or healing methods that they can take, as they age, getting to their 40s, 50s, and 60s?
All right. Yes, that's a good question. So as I've mentioned nga kanina, no, muscles can be strengthened at any age. No? So number one, no, lifestyle modifications. No, sundin natin yung mga recommendations ng previous two doctors na nagbigay ng lectures. No. And kasi nga sabi ko nga, no, one of the things na pwede makabawas ng low back pain is pabawas ng timbang. I mean, you can do that gradually. No? Mas maganda nga gradual weight loss. Number 2, ang specific sa rehab, no, core exercise, no, CORE, yung core, no? Kasi nga pag pinalakas niyo yung muscles sa core, yung mga muscles na nakakabit sa spine, no, they act like a strut, no? Parang, di ba, pagka kunyari, yung combat boots ninyo, di ba, pag mas maigpit and maganda yung pag-lace, parang mas stable yung pakiramdam ninyo, no? So that's the same with our lower back. If you strengthen the core muscles, no, gaganda yung alignment, no, and susunod yung mga ibang structures. Ibig sabihin, kung may nagko-cause ng pain man doon, mababawasan. So the number 1, core exercises. Number 2, brisk walking. I mean, kung wala pa kayong ginagawang kahit anong aerobic exercise, brisk walking, yun nga, nabanggit ko nga dun sa slides ko, no? It has been proven time and again through several studies that is a specific aerobic exercise for low back pain. Okay? And then, actually, yun lang. As simple as that, no? Core exercises, no, for your lower back and brisk walking are actually enough, no? And ang importante kasi diyan, as with every exercise, is consistency, no? You don't have to do it every day. Pero ang importante, you do it regularly. So sabihin natin, you're very busy, no? Ang kaya mo lang i-commit twice a week. Maganda 3 times a week sana, ano yung recommended. Pero sabihin natin twice a week. Okay na yun, no? If you can only commit 2 times a week, 3 times a week, basta ginagawa niyo siya consistently, dun mo lang mararamdaman yung effects on your lower back. Kasi yun yung challenge minsan sa aming mga rehab doctors eh. Yung mga gamot namin sa pasyente, nararamdaman lang nila yung epekto after a few weeks, after a few months. Kasi ganun talaga eh. We work on muscles. No? Muscles typically take 2 to 3 months before you actually feel the gains of what you are doing. So,
I totally agree.
Exercise pa rin.
I totally agree, Doc, Christopher, with the consistency kasi minsan drawing lang tayo eh, plano-plano pero hindi niya ginagawa, right? But with that, let's have the last question since already 12. I think this is a good one. The question here by Lieutenant Sologuen Leonard is, good AM, Doc. Makakatulong po ba ang paggamit ng lumbar support? I think nabibili kasi ito online, right? Para maibsan ang sakit ng likod.
Well, actually, yun nga, buti na bring up niyo ito, no? Kasi gusto ko itong pag-usapan. I always educate my patients on this. No? So, shortest answer to your question, depende. No? Okay, so lumbar support. No? So, makikita natin to siguro, una kong sabihin, yung mga nagbubuhat na mabibigat na equipment sa gym. So, yeah, pwede yun. No? Kasi yung lumbar support, during exercise sa gym, no, will really help you to assume the proper position. Kasi kung gano'n nakabibigat yung mga or actually kahit hindi naman mabigat, no? If you're in the gym, you're lifting weights, you assume the wrong position, that's really damaging to your back. That's one use na okay. Number 2, if kunyari meron kayong stable fracture sa likod. So sabihin natin kunyari nalaglag kayo nasemplang po kayo sa motor kunyari or nadulas kayo, nagkaroon kayo ng fracture, nagpatingin kayo sa doctor, assessment ng doctor, yung fracture niya stable, hindi kailangan operahan. So may cases na pwedeng gumamit ng lumbar support, no, to help protect the fractured area kasi hindi siya inoperahan. Okay? Pero kung ang tanong nyo is, masakit likod ko, bibili akong lumbar support. Mali po 'yun, no? Kasi nga kagaya ng sagot ko dun sa previous question, ano ba ang principle ng pag-aalaga ng likod? Diba? Exercise, strengthening the muscles, no? So ngayon, pag nakatayo tayo, no, trabaho ng mga muscles natin sa likod, no? Nagtatrabaho ang muscles natin sa likod pag nakatayo tayo, ganyan. So ngayon, kung magsuot po kayo ng lumbar support, tapos hindi niyo siya kailangan, ninanakaw ng lumbar support yung trabaho dun sa back muscles natin. So over time, kung matagal kayo nagsusuot ng lumbar support na hindi niyo naman kailangan, madidecondition yung muscles natin. Parang 'di ba kunya nag-gym ka, tumigil ka mag-gym ng 3 buwan, 'di ba? Ang hina na ng muscles ninyo. So ganun po ang magiging epekto ng lumbar support sa likod natin kung hindi siya kailangan. No? So sabi ko nga, may mga instances na kailangan natin ng lumbar support, pero kung hindi natin siya kailangan, isusuotin lang natin siya, pwede po siya makasama sa likod natin kasi madidecondition yung mga muscles natin sa likod. So it's good po na na-bring up niyan. Maganda, sinasabi ko lagi yan sa mga patients ko po.
Yeah, that's good knowledge, diba? Kasi mahirap talaga if we just self-medicate or self-therapy. So it's best still to ask your experts, your doctors, your rehab doctors especially. And with that, I'll take that as a last question since it's already 12:03. Thank you so much again, Dr. Christopher, for your time and sharing your knowledge. I'm sure everybody learned how to fix their posture at alaga ng likod para pagdating sa opisina, hindi tayo pupunta sa doktor, masakit po ang likod ko, masakit ang bakot, masakit lahat. So it's a very common concern talaga in occupational medicine. So with that, let's wrap up our lectures this morning. It was filled with so much information, as well as, inspiring us to take charge of our health. We talked about anger management. We can do some breathing exercise. Pause, step back before you even say something or do something, di ba? Think before you speak so we do not regret what we said or we would do. We don't want to be violent at the end of the day. And the second lecture was on lifestyle management as well as men's health. So we learned how to improve our diet, definitely. We always have healthier selections, options each day so that we can improve our overall well-being, not just our weight. And the last lecture we had was on musculoskeletal disease. Okay, we learned how to have proper posture, how to take care of our foot, having the right shoe matters, as Dr. Christopher said, taking care of our back. So thank you so much to all our doctors, Dr. Renz, Argao, Dr. Joan Dipasupil, Dr. Christopher Constantino for your time. Thank you so much, MaxiCare and PNP for having me as your host. Again, I am Dr. Aika Buenavista. I encourage everybody to share what you learned today para makita naman namin through the chat box. And I hope that everybody has a great day. Stay safe, stay healthy. God bless you all, and choose to stay happy as well. Bye, everybody. Let me now call on Colonel Medina for the closing remarks.
Thank you very much to our scholarly speakers, our enthusiastic moderator, and the underlying organizers who worked behind curtains to make this event possible. To express our heartfelt gratitude, we shall now proceed with the presentation of certificates of appreciation and tokens to the speakers. So first off, we have Dr. Renz Argao. Citation reads, Certificate of Appreciation is presented to Dr. Renz Argao for sharing his knowledge and expertise as resource speaker on the lecture entitled Making Anger a Friend, webinar on anger management held on June 23, 2022 via Zoom platform at the Health Service Conference Room, Crame, Quezon City, given this 23rd day of June 2022. Signed, Police Colonel Jezebel Medina, Acting Director, Health Service. Thank you, sir. Next, we have Dr. Paulo Dipasupil. Citation reads, Certificate of Appreciation is presented to Dr. Paulo Dipasupil for sharing his knowledge and expertise as resource speaker on the lecture entitled Men's Health and Lifestyle Management, held on June 23, 2022 via Zoom platform at the Health Service Conference Room, Crame, Quezon City, given this 23rd day of June 2022. Signed, Police Colonel Jezebel Medina, Acting Director, Health Service. Thank you, sir. Next, we have Dr. Christopher Constantino. Citation reads, Certificate of Appreciation is presented to Dr. Christopher Constantino for sharing his knowledge and expertise as resource speaker on the lecture entitled Common Musculoskeletal Disorders for Personnel in Uniform, held on June 23, 2022 via Zoom platform at the Health Service Conference Room, Crame, Quezon City. Given this 23rd day of June 2022, signed, Police Colonel Jezebel Medina, Acting Director, Health Service. Next, we have Dr. Kenneth Hartigan. Citation reads, Certificate of Appreciation is presented to Dr. Kenneth Y. Hartigan for his continuing support during the sixth leg of the Virtual Leadership and Good Governance Lecture Series CY 2022 with the theme Healthy Lifestyle for Main PNP Personnel, held on June 23, 2022 via Zoom platform at the Health Service Conference Room, Crame, Quezon City, given this 23rd day of June 2022. Signed, Police Colonel Jezebel Medina, Acting Director, Health Service. Next, citation reads, Certificate of Appreciation is hereby presented to Dr. Nicole Buenavista for sharing her knowledge and expertise as moderator on the lecture entitled Healthy Lifestyle for Main PNP Personnel, held on June 23, 2022 by Zoom platform at the Health Service Conference Room, Crame, Quezon City, given this 3rd day of June 2022, signed Police Colonel Jezebel D. Medina, Acting Director, Health Service. Last but not the least, citation reads, Certificate of Appreciation is presented to Ms. Jade Amber S.P. Nunez for continuing support during the 6th leg of the virtual Leadership and Good Governance Lecture Series CY 2022 with the theme Healthy Lifestyle for Men PNP Personnel, held on June 23, 2022 via Zoom platform at the Health Service Conference Room, Camparami, Quezon City. Given this 23rd day of June 2022, signed Police Colonel Jezebel D. Medina, Acting Director, Health Service. Thank you very much to our notably impressive doctors. Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. And now, to deliver her message and guidance, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Acting Director of Health Service, Police Colonel Jezebel D. Medina. Ma'am.
To our resource speakers, Dr. Renz Argao, Dr. Paulo Dipasupil, and Dr. Christopher Constantino. To our NAGTPD members, Dr. Kenneth Go, Dr. Nicole Buenavista, and Ms. Jade Amber Nunez, our friends from MaxiCare, to the TWG, PSMU, and advisory group members, and to all PNP personnel who are present physically and virtually, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Today we're gathered here who celebrated Father's Day last Sunday. My salute to your sacrifices for the family and contributions to the organization. Belated Happy Father's Day to everyone. Since our lecture focuses on the importance of a healthy lifestyle, let me share our flagship program in the health service, which is the Enhanced Monitoring of Police Overall Wellness, or the EMPO. The program primarily focuses on the management of non-communicable diseases such as diabetes, hypertension, dyslipidemia, fatty liver, and hyperuricemia, which are also known as lifestyle diseases. Management of these diseases depend on the adherence of the individual to change his or her own lifestyle. In the years of EMPO program implementation, it made me realize that we value ourselves and lives a healthier lifestyle. We eventually become better versions of ourselves. I hope that this webinar lecture has increased your awareness on the importance of pursuing a healthy lifestyle. May this lecture help guide you to decide and make better choices, not only for yourselves, but mostly important to your family. As you embrace the road of living healthy and enjoy its benefits, may you become an inspiration for others to do the same. Your success stories influence and encourage others to take the challenge. Viewing oneself in what we are used to will always be a difficult path to take. I would like to thank the speakers from MaxiCare, Dr. Renz, Dr. Paulo, and Dr. Christopher for generously sharing their time, knowledge, and expertise. Maraming salamat. This activity would not be successful without the support of our facilitators and assistance from MaxiCare Healthcare Corporation, to Police Lieutenant Colonel Maria Angela Salaya, the Chief of AOD from CPSM, the TWG, the PSMU, and advisory group members, and to all PNP participants for making this lecture a success through your active participation. Thank you very much. Lastly, with the knowledge we have gained and the thoughts we have shared during this lecture,
be applied in our daily lives. Rest assured that your health service family will find ways to make all available resources and opportunities be accessible to every police officer. Let us work together to build a healthier PNP. Once again, thank you and good afternoon.
Thank you very much, ma'am. We stand off that very profound message. Before we officially close, we will have our photo ops. May I request every participant to turn on their cameras for screen photo to serve as our final documents. So, pakiturn lang po yung mga cameras natin. So, ma'am, mga doctors po natin, please turn on your camera and then have the best pose that you can have. Sige, ladies and gentlemen, standby lang kayo sa the best pose, okay? Para we will have multiple shots. We will have multiple screenshots. Ay, sorry. Screenshot lang po, ma'am, sila. Yan, gallery. Wala pong gagalaw. We will have our gallery screenshot. Source, ma'am, ongoing po ang ating gallery screenshot. Wala pong gagalaw. Stay put on your chairs, please. Sabihin niyo pag okay na. Stay put lang po tayo, sir, ma'am. 1,000 plus po ang lahat ng total ng participants for the gallery shots. Okay na. So that concludes our very productive and knowledge-filled activity for today. Thank you and have a blessed day ahead. Ladies and gentlemen, stay put yung mga dito nag-out. Meron pong presentation ng next year. Stay put lang po kayo. Stay put lang po kayo. Wala naman nag-out. We will witness a presentation from Musculoskeletal. Sorry, madami na.
Open the primary care clinic right here at BV Sullivan. At this point, I would like to introduce Maxicare's president and CEO, Mr. Sean Argos, who will share a short message with all of you today.
Thank you everyone for joining us today. We're very proud to open this primary care clinic of ours here in BV Sullivan Building. Before anything else, I'd like to thank each and everyone who made this a reality, from the admin team, the medical team, of course, our shareholders, the board, who continue to allow us to make investments. This is our largest clinic. This is our most fully featured clinic. Our definition of primary care is it is what our clients and our customers and our patients require. That is primary care. And it is our mission as a company to make sure that whatever our patients need today and even in the future are served through our primary care clinics. So we want this to be a safe space for patients. We want to be here for you again in your trying times, and we want to serve you fast. And I'm sure the senior citizens in this area will love to buy Prima and visit our clinic. So thank you everyone. Thank you. Good morning.
We're going to blow the candle now. Candle blowing.
Si Mama, unlimited ang pasensya.
Ako nga para si Robin Hood. Sherwood Forest. Excuse me. Sorry. Excuse me. Sorry.
Sino anak mo dyan?
Ayun. Ako si Marie. Kinalulugod nga pala.
Si Mama, unlimited ang suporta. Baby boy. Si Mama, unlimited ang alaga.
Yan ba yung uso ngayon? Tara na. Magsisimba pa tayo.
Si Mama, unlimited ang pag-unawa.
Kamusta ang results ng bar exam?
Oh.
Ma,
Ikaw talaga? Lagi mo na lang ako niloloko.
at higit sa lahat, si Mama, unlimited ang pagmamahal. Kaya unlimited din ang pasasalamat ko sa kanya. Kasi kahit hindi madali, hindi niya ako pinabayaan. Happy birthday, Ma! Oh, wait lang. Oh, Ma, last na. Happy birthday, Ma! Ma, para sa kanyang unlimited love, it's time to give back with MaxiCare Prima Gold. Si Mama, unlimited ang pagmamahal. Kaya unlimited din ang pasasalamat ko sa kanya. It's time to give back with MaxiCare Prima Gold, the affordable prepaid health card for senior citizens.